Compliments my fly, and when it goes down, I know she gon' ride. I finally got somebody I can call mine.
Music licensing reimagined.
I got a girl that compliments my fly, and when it goes down, I know she gon' ride. I finally got somebody I can call mine. My one time for the one time.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Appreciate everybody for coming into the building. So it's just me. It's me today. My wife is she has her own thing tomorrow. So please come back for that tomorrow as well with the wife training. But gonna get into these comment section right quick. What's up, Dale Pill? Dale Pill Reacts. What's up, brother? What's going on? Appreciate for being here again, man. And Gang, exactly, American Negro. That's what it's all about, man. So we got a crazy topic today, guys. Like this is one that's interesting, especially me as a father. Y'all know we have 4 boys, so this is kind of crazy, the situation that our kids are being in, and this is why it's important to have that 2-parent household so you can make sure that you get the best opportunities for your kid. So like my wife got our kids in all boys school, and it's a very good school, and none of this stuff we don't have to worry about this crap we about to talk about now, but this is going to be a crazy topic today, man. So, and it's going to hopefully help some people just to kind of know what they want to do in life and make sure they pick the right woman. And women, if you're in this situation, hey, please get your stuff together, man. But hey, let's go ahead and get into it.
School, and she does this.
She's stuck. Okay, hold on. There she is. Oh.
And you know the crazy thing about this too, right? Is soon as she get off the bus, soon as the first thing she sees, she should be happy, right? Every time my sons, I'm going to pick up my kids from school, they yell, "Daddy!" They running, hugging me and stuff like that, and it's the first thing that they do. So, and this guys is a subscriber panel, man. I'm gonna bring my brother up, Black Heart. Are you ready, bro? I'm gonna add him to the stage. Hey, what's going on, brother? What's going on, man?
Man, what's up, Brody? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. Hanging in there, trying to get this stuff together. Yeah, man. You heard about these kids, man? What's going on? I know you ain't got no kids right now, but you see all these badass kids out here.
I don't think I'm ever having none, bro. At this rate, I ain't even gonna hold you up. Hell no.
No, man, you gotta have some, bro. But hey, man, we'll talk about that later or something. But hopefully, man, you found the right one, man. But I know how a lot of brothers, man, it's kind of, you know what I mean, you don't want to put yourself in that position, but I get it.
Right, with the girl talking about some ski.
Yeah.
If you see me trying to see what's up, like saying it to the student, trying to get their attention. I'm like, wait a minute. There's other ways to do it.
Yeah, you play that shit to my kids, they won't know what the hell you talking about. They be like,
oh, it was another teacher though. This might have been the same lady. I was singing. She changed the lyrics to one of the songs, to the Sexy Red song, and rapped the whole song or whatever. I said that's like me taking back in our day, a 2 Live Crew song, you know, Pop That Coochie, whatever, and making it a kid song. Like, nigga, no.
Oh, back that thing up, you know what I mean? Making it. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. You seen this video? I'm check this video out, bro.
She's stuck. Okay, hold on. There she is. Oh.
Soon as she get off the bus. Hey, what's up? As always, Jermaine Falk. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, bro? This is an interesting topic right here. I just want to see a couple of your videos, but I do see some things on Twitter we're not seeing on YouTube. I wanted to address it.
Exactly, man. That's why I like to go on TikTok, man, because a lot of stuff on TikTok could be because people are be able to be more free there, and they can say a whole bunch of stuff. They're not as so secretive like how YouTube is. Like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. So this is crazy. Like, as soon as you get off the bus, she's sticking up her middle finger up. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
First day of school, and she does this.
She's stuck. Okay, hold on. There she
I
is.
think it's funny too.
Oh.
I would have snatched her ass up.
I would have got beat with an extension cord back in the day. This is crazy.
Yo, man, this truck is crazy. I don't see how they let them get away. And then now when they get older, they're gonna watch this video and laugh about it.
Or while she in jail.
Exactly. Let's get to the next one, man.
You're not gonna talk to me like that. Bitch, you're not gonna talk to me like that. You're not gonna talk to me like that. You dead ass playing in my face right now. You need to give her a country.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Don't put your hands on me. Yeah, I swear to God, if you don't get your hands, put your hands. Don't give me hands on me. I'm just so sweet.
What y'all think, man? This is crazy.
I think some of these kids need to get beat. That's what I think.
I'm gonna be real with you as a person that's familiar with the criminal justice system. One of the biggest issues is no one can touch kids. Like kids be doing stuff that would put an adult in jail, and they would slap them on the wrist, send them back to the parents, and then let them go right back on the street, right? So the only thing that's stopping these kids, and I'm not a supporter of it, the only thing that's stopping these kids is a bullet. And short of that, these kids are going to be running wild.
Yeah.
Okay?
Damn. And you know the crazy thing, say if she would have, the teacher would have went over, because you could tell the teacher was stronger than her. The teacher like pushed her out the way like real quick, like she wasn't nothing, like she a piece of paper. But imagine if she would have put hands on her, then all of a sudden she lost her job.
Yeah, that teacher knows she can't touch her. That teacher can't touch her. Legally, you can hit a kid on the backside. That's about it. But really, man, if I could, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but the things I see that's going on with kids, I would say if they were criminalized, if they were taken through the justice system, you would see majority of the crime is coming from children. We don't see that because they don't go through the criminal system usually for what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this is crazy, man. We got to do better, especially like letting this crap go fly. It's crazy.
I stop talking. You do not come up to me, Dr. Shu. Get my goddamn face. You go there. All right. Sit down.
Hey, we got a special guest. What up, Black Man Unfiltered? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yeah, we hear you
hey,
great.
James, hold on 1 second. Who mic is that? You don't hear that?
Nah, I don't hear that.
It's like a certain type of, sound like a piece of paper, like every blue moon just keep happening. Somebody mic is.
I don't hear it either though.
Yeah, I don't hear. Did you hear when I did it stop when we went on mute?
No, it's still going. I just muted mine. It ain't mine.
I don't know, bro. Damn. Hopefully
your speakers might be picking up something. You might have like sensitive speakers. You might have some powerful speakers that are picking up.
Man, I'm like, what the like? It wasn't happening not too long ago when we first started. So I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
It's not as bad though, but it's definitely, you gonna hear it in the audio though. There's no way you can't hear it.
Okay. Hopefully, everybody in the audience can still hear it pretty good. But damn, hopefully it's not nothing on YouTube. But let's get back to it.
Stop talking. You do not come up to me, Dr. Shu. Get my goddamn face. You go there. All right. Sit down. Okay? You go sit down. What are you talking about? You go sit down, all right? You come up to me like that? I mean, who the you think you are? Yeah, twitch your little turn around and raise your fist like that, Dr. Shu. Do it again. I'm not playing, all right? Okay, come up to me and do that to me. I'll do it to you. All right? Go sit down. Shut your me? Who the think you are?
All right, so what's y'all? I'll go with Black Man this time. Black Man, what you think you see? What's your analysis on this problem right here?
I think the kids being violent, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for just a second. Then I'll hop back over. I think that some kid, I said this at a PTO meeting just recently with my kids' PTO. I said that kids, I gave the instruction, kids don't need homework. Everybody looked at me stupid. I said kids don't need homework because they're here with you 8 hours a day. When they get out of school, you send them with homework for 3 or 4 classes, which is an additional 2 hours. So now they're 10 hours in, right? They've changed the rules at school where you can't talk loud. You talk to your neighbor, you're disruptive. You can't talk in the lunchroom no more because they say it slows down the kids from eating. And so the kids got to get in line and be quiet. So not only are you at school all day sitting down, staring at the board, listening to a teacher who should have retired 15 years ago, teacher class, 60, 70 years old teachers, so you got 10 hours of homework, 8 hours staring at a board, listening to a teacher. And then on top of that, you come home and your mama and your daddy fussing, or your mama or your daddy not in your life, and your mama working late shift, so she can't help you with your homework. Then you got to babysit little sister. So see, what we don't do, we don't try to understand some of these things that these kids struggling with at home, and they're at their breaking point when they go to their school. And anybody say anything to them, they can pop off at any goddamn time. That's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress for a kid. And so I'm just saying, when you get to those kids arguing and fussing like that, it's a reason that those kids are behaving. There's something going on in their life. It could be the mama then told the child, your daddy cheated on me. We're no longer going to be together. We're about to get a divorce.
Yeah.
It could be anything. And you catch the kid on the wrong day and he finna lose his mama and daddy to a divorce, and you in the classroom talking about put your book down. That kid gonna get up and slap the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I don't have any kids, but I'm not talking to personal experience. I'm talking from a macro level. I went through that. I had homework. My mother had homework. Her mother had homework. Her mother had homework. Her father had homework. We all had to do this: go to school 8 hours, come home, and do homework. What happened in this country is we had a situation where women were given liberation to be without a man, to have sexual liberation, to sleep with whoever she want, get impregnated by whoever she want, and these kids are not being raised. Basically, if we really break down the dynamic of the family, a woman is just above a child. I'm not calling her a child, but she's just above a child. The father or her husband would be teaching her, and then she can teach the children. So these children are essentially being raised by children. That's why we hear so much immature reactions from women on the internet, because they're basically children. They weren't taught any different. They weren't given any discipline or any structure, right? So these boys aren't going to have any structure. And then you have what today is, everything is based on a trend. And what's the most popular music is the trendy music, which is rap, which is all about trend, nonsense, and clownery. So not on a personal level, but this country's structure was destroyed when we were given liberation of the sexes. That's one of the main topics.
Now, I got a little pushback, not a lot, because you said you have some great points there. My only pushback is that I agree with you when you say my mother had homework and her mother had and my father had homework, right? They did. But your mother didn't have iPhone, iPad. They didn't have laptops, computers, easier ways to do things. Everything had to be done by pencil and paper. And when I think in America, when it's time to evolve, we don't evolve. And that's why you have places like Finland. If you go to Finland's education system, they have the highest in the world. You want to know why? China comes in number 2. You want to know why they have the highest? Because they have shorter school days. They don't have homework. Everything is hands-on. The kids are up moving around, right? The kids get breaks. They get time to go do what they want to do. They come back and they have the highest scores and the most intelligent children on the planet. And because they don't do 8-hour days. These kids don't go to school for 8 hours in Finland. They go to school for 4 hours. They go to school for 4 hours for 4 days a week. They don't go 5 days a week. And it is proven Right now, you look at our school system. Look at our school system. The same way they taught us in school is the same way they're teaching our kids. These kids right now know more than the teacher when it comes to electronics and moving forward. They don't teach the kids. They don't have anything anymore like home economics. That's gone. Welding class. That's gone. Wood class. That's gone. All the stuff that we used to use as a side bar to go to and relax and have some fun and build some stuff. They don't have that no more. They kill them programs. And so now the kids are just sitting in class all day with nothing to look forward to. And we're teaching these kids college, 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 college. We have to understand everybody ain't built for college. And so why aren't we having electrician classes in sixth grade where you start teaching electrical work at sixth grade? By the time they graduate as a senior, they have a job and they will work for the rest of their lives because you're always going to need an electrician. What about having a plumbing class start in sixth grade where you teach little boys how to be plumbers? By the time they graduate, they'll be plumbers. They'll never have to work for nobody. They can start their own business. If they want to work for somebody, they can. But when you delete these programs and expect these kids whose brains have evolved way more and faster than ours did when we were that age, you don't have anything to fill that hole. And these kids are in class like, oh my God, I can do this shit on my phone. And I heard, what's the guy's name? The billionaire that took over Twitter. What's his Elon Musk. I heard Elon Musk said that it is amazing how much time we're wasting on education with our kids that they will never use. He said our kids are walking around with supercomputers in their hands every day. And instead of wasting time in classroom trying to figure out X minus 2, and they're not even going to go to college or pursue anything in life that has to do with that, why don't we be more hands-on with our kids? And he said we can get our world back. We can get our country back. We can get men and women and blue-collar workers back working again and getting them in the field. And he's absolutely correct. I think we are wasting time when your 11-year-old is saying, Daddy, what's X minus 2 squared? They're never going to use it. Why are we even still teaching it?
I can agree with the hands-on part, definitely. The only difference is, I think school, just like you say hands-on, I consider that job training. When you're having home ec, when you're having welding class, that's job training. Part of job training is getting used to the fact that you're going to be doing 8 hours on the job. Now, if you want to argue, should we do 8 hours on the job for every job? Then we can have that conversation. But I do think schools should have a direction. You should be in a class that leads you towards becoming a doctor or a engineer or an electrician, like you were saying. But that's the only reason I would give any pushback on the 8 hours. As far as Finland, I'm not too familiar with them. I don't know if the 4 hours is the main contributor. I think it's more the hands-on. So yeah, definitely, I agree with a lot of what you're saying.
I can see it both ways too. Because I know China has some of the smartest people too as well, but they go to school a lot more than Finland does. I almost know about the Finland thing, but I know China, they go to school a lot more, but their family structure is a lot different than ours because they want to have that one child policy that they coming out of. Now they're trying to reverse that and change that so they can have more kids. But that one kid had to make sure he had his stuff together. So I know that's why they probably put so much time in education. But us as individuals, we don't really take the educational part that seriously. And like Black Man said, and if you don't want to take it that serious, hey, go get a trade. Like I was just teaching my son, I picked up some side jobs cutting grass, you know what I'm saying? Because I want my son to see, like, hey, this is how you do it. I take my son with me. He be cutting the yards and weeding. I said, you don't got to sell drugs. You can do this. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different landscaping jobs that making decent money that all of us can do. I was from Alabama, so we was raised doing that stuff. That was nothing to us. You know what I mean? So it just, making sure we preparing our kids for the future. And they don't have to go to school. They don't got to go to college, whatever. But if they do, all right, cool. Make sure you get your degree with some substance on it.
Now, China is what I'm familiar with. I know they go to school a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm a person that's against idle time for children. Well, anybody in general. I think idle time does get the man in trouble, like they say. So even if you were to say 4 hours of study and book work, but then another 4 hours of something like, like we used to have YMCA back in the day, Boys and Girls Club, stuff like that. to keep their mind geared towards something more productive.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things we have an issue with is like we're being raised off of our kids are being raised off social media. Like that's all about being idle. It's all about just watching nonsense, nonstop memes and all this nonsense or whatever. So their minds are oversaturated with entertainment, and once you do that to a mind, it might not grasp on education as much. It's like when you give that baby that first taste of chocolate milk or whatever sweet. You know what I mean? They don't like the regular milk as much, or whatever the case may be, or they don't like the vegetable, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that comes to the brain.
And you know what? Let me add something else to that. Now, and me and my mom had this conversation. She was like, "All them kids, I'm tired of seeing kids." My mom was an educator. I'm tired of seeing these kids. They're playing these video games, but I told Mama, I said, Mama, in the world today, there are jobs out here that pay people to play video games, and they're making $150,000 a year.
True.
To simply sit there and play them. There's people on TikTok making $100,000, $200,000 a year just smiling and putting makeup on their face.
Yeah,
There's a kid on YouTube right now that's making $13-14 million a year just looking at toys and doing reviews on toys. So there's money in social media. There's money in video game playing. There's money in it. There wasn't no money in it back in the day. We used to play Nintendo and that was it. But these kids can make a buttload of money, bro. Getting on Twitch, showing people how to get out of certain spots on games. Man, it's crazy out here, man.
Yeah, my oldest son put me on that because he was watching somebody play Fortnite, and I was like, "What's this? What's this game?" It was like some year ago or so, and I was like, "What's this game?" He was like, "It's Fortnite." I was like, "Oh, you playing?" He was like, "No, I'm watching somebody playing." I'm like, "Why are you watching somebody play a game?" Like, that was so confusing to me. But I started watching it with him. I got hooked. I was like, "God damn, this shit is good as hell!" Like,
hey James, you want to know what's crazy? I watched my nephew play that for a year straight. And I just was just sitting. I'm like, this is interesting. But he used to do little dumb stuff. So I said, you know what? Let me learn how to play it.
yeah.
Boy, when I tell you during my marriage, I'll be like, oh no, you going out tonight? Hey, enjoy yourself. When I say I started to learn how to build and I got fast learning how to edit, where you can edit a square and shoot and close it and all that.
Yeah.
Man, I turned into a kid all over again. When I say I played that sometimes 10 hours, I was so hooked. And then don't win a game. Don't start winning. You're really not going to stop playing it. I saw myself being a gamer again. Now I'm back to playing like Call of Duty and NBA 2K like I used to. I get on there with my boys and we'd talk. And that's just how we detox, from the negativity. You're pretty happy in your marriage, but when you're not happy, you need an escape, which is sad. That should be something we should be able to wind down and just enjoy ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of us is something
instead of
we
going
kinda
get
need.
instead of getting poo now, get PlayStation.
There we go. Instead of it was days like that where she like, you coming to bed? Nah. Like, holler at me in the morning. Like, it got that bad to a point where, because I didn't like her at one point, so I'm falling asleep on the couch. I'll wake up and play it. Like, she think I'm about to come back there. And she hear that noise pop on. She like, oh, this bullshit. Like, but she would hit me some days with I'm tired. I know we switching topics, so I'm going to make this short.
Yeah.
But she'd be like, oh, I don't feel like it today. Well, don't feel like it for the rest of the week, because there's other things I'd rather be doing anyway, handling business. And then after I'm done, I get on here with my homeboys and talk to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh, man, I understand it, though. I get it. What you about to say, brother?
Hey, that Call of Duty will get you, boy.
Yeah.
Man,
you got to be careful with that Call of Duty, boy.
Oh, wait till they finish this zombies up and they make it full again. It's over. When I say, hey, like my girl, she bought me 2K and bought me everything. Sent me like 200 to pay for everything, the VC and all of that. Oh, she knew her time was short, but she rather me be happy than do whatever. So she like, nah, just when you got something real, they want to see you happy. You know what I'm saying? That's rare nowadays. That's why these kids so damn bad. You don't have both parents in the household, and moms can't teach sons how to be fathers or how to be men. Just like we can't, man. Let's say I have a kid one day and my daughter come to me, I'm bleeding. I don't know how to respond to that. I know tampons and all of that, but I don't know how to help her cope with that or deal with that. Or I know why it's happening,
Blackheart,
but
Blackheart, you gonna throw her a med pack if she bleeding, right? You just like Call of Duty, you throw her a med pack, man. That's what we know.
Hey, he wild for that. He talking about a med pack. I'm crying. Medical kit.
All right, let's get back to these videos, y'all.
Pick up your. You do that? You keep doing that? You what, Dr. Shu, huh? You doing that? You took the thing to me, huh?
And the crazy thing, the kids are laughing at it. That's the crazy thing about it. Like they entertained by it rather than like
gaslighting.
It's crazy.
Get out. Just get out.
Deborah Winger's 2018 report shows that American demand for these skilled professionals is quickly burgeoning.
All right, hold on. Ben, pick up. Where should I go, please?
Or growing beyond the number of said social.
No, go back.
Licking said
no.
Social. Lick.
No, go back.
See, bro, if I was a teacher, I'd kick that kid out.
You said what now?
If I was a teacher, I'd have kicked every kid out that's laughing at him because he's actually trying.
But you wanna know what's crazy though? A lot of the kids are reading at a 3rd grade level. They got that No Child Left Behind stuff now.
Yeah.
Instead of holding them back. Like it's actually hindering kids. Like I'll let something go. You know, we being transparent, we men on the panel. I had to repeat the 8th grade twice. Teacher failed me on purpose. You know, I'm not gonna the story is kind of long behind it, but let's just say this. I got a hold of some information about his brother taking his wife one day, you know, and a few other things. And he just kept egging me in class, told him, quit bothering me, leave me alone. But he wanted to be the cool teacher and all this other stuff. And once I let that go, now you want to have a conversation. Now you want to do this. I'm like, I told you, leave me alone. I know a lot about you that you didn't think I know because you allowing your life, you allowing kids to learn things that's going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? They talk. But I look at this and I'm like, even my nephew, man, I talk to him and I'm like, you need to stop playing the game so much. You need to go to bed on time. You need to start reading and educating yourself because I see other kids. It's illegal for a child to have a trading account, but it's not illegal for them to trade. So the guy had his son learn how to trade stocks, watch videos, and really learn it because kids pick up on stuff early, especially at a younger age. They got that dream mentality. So the way they go hard for stuff, as long as you motivating them, they'll learn it. Anything you teach them, kids soak in stuff early. Exactly. They're a product of their environment and what they're learning. Mm-hmm. Man, this kid he checked the account one day. He said, what the hell? $1 million in there. His son made $1 million at 11.
Wow.
You got to incorporate that on one of these lives and show some of the genius. Like this one lady got a son that's a math genius. I'm talking about like she'll crunch a number and ask him. He done already calculated and gave a number and then multiplied it by two. And then as you know, they're in 9 figures saying the whole number. Like, the hell? I'm talking about they multiplying it by 2 or by 3 or by 2,145 or something crazy. And the kid just kept going, just was great with numbers. Mm-hmm. Like, man, I said, what the hell? Some of these kids are not possessed by a demon. Some of them blessed.
Yeah.
And some of them are smart. And they don't have to have autism or have to be weird to have a gift or to be smart. Some kids just have a high IQ. And the parents don't be knowing how. Hey, things can happen.
Bro, I speaking of that, I saw the kid in Ethiopia that says, talking about multiplying. And he said, the little kid said, 1 times 1 is what? And the class said 1. He said, if the law of math teaches us that something multiplies, 2 times 1 is 2. That's multiply. It is a 2. He said 1 plus 1 is not a multiplier. So he's what he said. That is a bad term used in math to call it multiplying when it's only 1. He said you can't multiply anything by 1. It all starts at 2.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, what the fuck?
Mind blown. Hey, these kids, I'm telling you, a lot of people look down on the new kids and be like, oh man, the generations is getting worse and they get worse. No, this is why we had a whole bunch of millennials and stuff quit all of these jobs and start going and using their cell phones to make money.
Yeah.
As long as you got a cell phone, you shouldn't be broke. There's ways to make money, and a lot of these kids, they say, well, I want to start a business, I want to do this, I don't want to go to college. I support that. College is supposed to teach you how to get the jobs. The people that's over you, that's owning the businesses and running this,
don't got it.
Didn't finish school.
Yeah.
College was not in there. Like, what am I going to college for? Or even kids that are gifted in sports. I know I'm going to the NBA even if an injury happens. I know I'm still going to go play overseas. What's my point in going to college?
My only issue with this concept is the amount of entertainers that are going to live, that's going to make that a living, is going to be a small number. Whether it be gamers, basketball players, whatever the case may be. Yeah. It's going to be a small number. There's always going to be a large number of engineers, electricians, nurses, construction workers, so on and so forth. That's the main issue we have with that.
But like my thing to combat that is like, when you think about it, how many dreams were killed because it was somebody that made that sentiment? And there's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time, like guys like me, they knew I was going to be great. But instead, I'm like, oh, I wanted to do the family thing, focus on having a wife and all that, which is nothing wrong with that too.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do greater things. As a man, we can always go get a wife at any time. If you take care of yourself, finances is right, keep your hair cut, keep your body done, your health is intact, all of that, you stay young. I mean, we're not about to get into that territory, but get a woman of age, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, like that comment that just popped up by Carla, you don't need to go to college. College, like I got a trade. I got a skilled trade. Skilled trades for everything. And like they always talk stuff about, oh, I wouldn't date the plumber. But I know plumbers, they asked a random guy on the street that pulled up in a Lamborghini and got out. He said, what do you do for a living? He said, I'm a plumber. And they was like, how the hell? But the thing is, it's a skilled trade. It's a skill. Plumbing is always going to be needed. And that's a job that women just don't want to do. It's a male-dominated field.
Exactly.
But if you really get good at it, you can work your way up to having a team. Then you work your way up to owning a plumbing company. This is why I don't really condone college, because you got a lot of 401ks. I seen a guy 26 years in at a trucking company. He was about to retire in a year. They filed bankruptcy. 26 years gone down the drain. No 401k.
Yes, sir. I saw that. I would have shot the whole place up.
Yeah, and that's crazy. I get what you're saying, but I could feel that man's pain, which is why I look at women like, okay, go ahead and work here for retirement and you don't need a man. What happens when you fall on deaf's ears and you get illness or cancer, you get this? Who gonna take care of you?
Hey, Blackheart, we can't add black woman or woman to the conversation because people in the chat don't like it. I just want to
hold on, real quick, Jermaine, real quick.
Hold on, real quick. To the person in the chat, as men, I don't know if you're a man, but to the person in the chat, as men, to solve a problem, we must first deduce what the problem is and then fix it. So if you're part of the problem, you must be fixed, or else you're just not going to be part of the solution.
Hey, before
So
y'all
let me
go,
let me add this real quick, James.
What it seems like is happening with the passport bros. They just saying you're not part of the solution. I'm out.
Hey, let me add this. He said, "Stop blaming black women." I didn't say a color.
yeah,
I said when women say they don't need a man, but you see when people listen with their feelings and they listen with this, and we have a society full of men and women, but I only date black women. So go ahead, let's get into it. Let's talk about black culture. You can't have conversations anymore with people. And I'll give you one specifically. I used to teach the stock market, few other things. And it was like $100, $200 an hour. But the goal was what you paid me. If you can't have that triple, you can't trade. Because the first thing I did, because I woke up one day, I got over $1,000 and some dollars in my Cash App. And I'm like, whoa. Like, I started sending people their money back because you have to qualify for me to teach you. First thing we do is I have a criteria and a checklist we're going to go through. We have to call through finances first because financial literacy is tore up nowadays. People don't have a budget. Everybody's living, not everybody, but the majority are living above their means, the paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people that hit me up are desperate. This is not something, it's a risk. Higher the risk, higher the reward. This is how people that risk starting a business get financial freedom early. I plan on retiring in 2 or 3 years. I can tell you this, 95% of people I've talked to told me I was crazy. Oh, you'll never retire that early. Get those people away from you.
yeah,
Because I'm looking at what brother is doing and sister is doing as far as the pot. If they would have never started, they wouldn't be at almost 100,000 followers on YouTube. Their reaction videos wouldn't be getting almost 100,000 for a lot of their videos. But they somewhere said, okay, they need to start this. They started. Everybody has to start somewhere. See, Kevin Samuels didn't find his niche until, because he was doing men for years and helping men changing clothing and doing this, and then switched over to women, and all of a sudden everybody's up in arms.
Exactly.
When he holds women accountable and trying to help women do this and do that, but there's a market for it. But when Derek Jackson is pandering and he's making 100, 200,000 a month off of single mothers, it ain't an issue. But we all knew, and I'm not gonna say we all, but the majority of us knew that this nigga wasn't who he was. We can tell by his mannerisms, how he spoke, how he carried himself. Most of the time, niggas like him that pander that much,
we smell them.
They're usually doing something. And look what came out years later. But guess what? He still rebounded. Handsome guy, not a bad looking guy, pause. You know what I'm saying? Genetically gifted. You can't stop men like that because women are always going to desire eye candy no matter what. Now, me, the CEO, I'm going to say this, I'm going to let you in. The CEO of McDonald's and the burger flipper is the same to me. I don't care what car you drive. It doesn't. I'm looking for femininity in certain things. Like, women think that the same things they love about us and desire in a man is the same thing we desire in them. And we don't care because men over time have always shown we can build a woman up from ground up. We can get a woman to where we want her, but naturally we want helpers. I love the fact that James has been hosting the panels lately. There's nothing wrong with that. I love it when they both do it. You know what I'm saying? But James holding his own. James could have easily said, man, shut your bitch ass up, Blackhearted. This my panel, nigga. You talking too much, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I've been around for a while. And most of the time I don't say anything. I'm usually just in here just listening. But it's the fact that I'm here showing support. There's some people that won't even show up. So everybody, you gonna remember this years from now, when you do have 1 million, we're gonna speak this into existence now, when you are bringing in a few 100,000 a month, and then it's like, you may tell me one day, like, hey, I'll support the channel, whatever you need. And you may not even charge me anything. But then it's gonna be people that come to you that they had a chance to join in when it was only 2 or 4 of us. Now you got people paying to be on the panel or paying to get on and have a channel listed up there so they can get the followers up and stuff like that. People never want to be around when the groundwork, and now I'm gonna talk about the black community. This is a black thing, how we don't support each other enough until we make it. Then we're going to look at him like, oh, you don't donate or give back to the black community. They didn't donate to him. They didn't help lift him up. He got it out. He getting it out the mud. They both getting it with the help of him and his wife. They're doing it together. I don't see nobody else doing that.
I want to address that last comment you had. Put it back up for me.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, I was like, we didn't even say nothing about black women yet.
Yeah. I want to address this one and the one after. Because I'm gonna say what he didn't say down there. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna say what he didn't say. It says stop blaming the black woman. It's getting so old. They have raised generations alone. Yes, they've raised generation of children who are what we have now. Kids who are beating up teachers, kids who are robbing, kids who are shooting their parents in the head because they can't get a VR for Christmas, kids strangling their parents their mother in the bed while they're asleep. Listen, we have to get to the understanding is that the standard is husband, wife, and children. The mother will nurture the children. The father will guide the children. It has to be that way. If it's not that way, it's going to go another way. And we have to stop playing games about what it is. We have to look at it statistically. You know what I'm tired of doing? Like you said, you're tired. It's getting old. What's getting old to me is that some of you dumb niggas, I'm sorry, this is not my channel. Some people are so damn dumb that they don't pay attention to the numbers, the statistics. The statistics say that a woman of color, a black woman, will have a baby by 21 and will be married by 31, meaning that you're putting the cart before the horses. That means that you're doing things backwards. That means you want to be a single mother if the statistics are that high for women at 21. You're 21 years old having a baby and you don't decide to get into a marital union until 10 years later. And now 10 years later, you're married to a different man who is not the father of the child.
You're going out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who is not? Then you marry somebody 10 years later who is not the father of the child.
Right.
So my thing is, I don't understand how people cannot look at the numbers statistically and understand where we are as a people. 75% of our beautiful black women are single mothers. Out of 75% of them, 35% of them are highly educated. Out of those 35% of black women who are highly educated, got their degrees, their children on average are reading. And when they're in the 8th grade, they're reading on a 3rd grade level. So how is it that you're the most educated and your son can't read in the 8th grade? He's on a 3rd grade level. We have to start telling the truth, guys. We got to start being men. And I'm ignoring these women because half of them want to justify their behavior about having the baby at 21 and getting married at 31. I rest my case, Your Honor. I move for the case to be dismissed.
Yo, I had it. And the crazy thing about it, I remember we was at a Bible study, right? And my son is 13, my oldest. And he just started reading, you know what I mean? He was reading the scriptures and stuff like that. And then once he got done, they was like, oh, wow, good job. And I was looking like what he did, what he did special. And our bar so low, they were just happy that he was able to read clearly.
Right.
And I was
But look at yourself in the mirror, James. You and your wife are the reason. There is a father in the household and it's evident. Yeah. So when they looking around, it's not normal for a kid to read at a great level. Dog, they was talking, it's crazy I had to repeat the 8th grade, not because of grade, I just didn't care, I was a sports guy. But for me, they was talking about double promoting because the work was so easy. As soon as they give us an assignment, I'm done. My mom was on me at home about, she would have a board up there and be like, what's this word? If I got the word wrong, I got to whoop it. I thought it was abuse, but that's a whole nother thing. But she got on me early about stuff. You know, I survived, I lived, I'm alive, I'm healthy. She did her job. My dad did his job too. So for me, I would go in there, knock that work out, boom, I'm done. I'm talking about 1 minute. Everybody's taking the whole class to finish, I'm done. I'm bored at school. Every grade level up to 6th grade. And I'll tell you where I stopped because we're talking about children. We were children at one point. Yeah. So this is actually prevalent and relevant to what we're talking about anyway. So I ended up 5th grade, all A's still. I'm talking about all A's up to 5th grade. Like I was bored. You know what I'm saying? I ended up every semester, every whatever, my parents would give me a gift if I got all A's. So I saw shooting for it. I got all A's again, didn't get anything. There was no positive reinforcement. So I'm like, I got all these grades, I didn't get nothing. Bet. After that, now you seeing B's and C's. Got an A in gym. So they're A's, B's, and C's. 6th grade, C's. C's and B's. 7th grade, C's. No behavior problems. I'm chilling. I'm going to school. I'm just doing enough to get by.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm playing sports. I'm cold. I'm getting picked for everything. All of that. You know, and then eventually I got to high school, D's, whatever. And then I eventually transferred to a charter school. A D plus of 69.9% is failing. You can only get C's, B's, and A's. So then I had to, do this, do that. I would always take summer school to get by. And then my senior year, I said, let me apply myself because I ended up getting injured, a few other things. I can focus on school now. Had a 3.4 GPA, just trying. But I knew I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to get a trade, but trade was plan B. I was going to go overseas to play 10, 12 years, start my business, a few other things. Yeah. 10, 12 years later, I went to school, whatever. I'm still doing the trucking thing, but now I'm transitioning to business. This is why I say do it early and teach kids early.
Yep.
You're already setting the bar for your kids to have something. They can come on a panel with you and take over.
Yeah, he was actually come on this panel today. He wanted to come on.
There we go.
But
they don't even
man. Going back to this topic right quick before we so we can move on. I was watching you know how we used to watch Maury back in the day and stuff like that.
Right.
And I was watching a lot of You Not the Father videos, right? Because they got like a whole playlist of You Not the Father, a woman coming on there 6, 7 times, 8 different people. So I was like, what's the percentage of women? Because they always ask what a baby dad at, what a baby dad at. The baby dad is not here. What percentage of women don't know who the actual baby father is? They just say it's this guy, but they never got their DNA tested. How do you know this actually that father? Because you would sleep around with multiple different people. It's okay for you to do it. So, what I'm saying? It's crazy how they would just, oh, the man wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. But you don't really know in that situation if they know who actual father is, right?
But
the percentages is coming out, right? It's at 30% since they've been DNA testing most of the people, and they talking about making it mandatory because it's damn near at 40 to 50%. In Africa, 8 out of 12 cases that come in, that's how they did their study, are found to be not the father. There's a pandemic over there. Like the passport bros want to go over there and get a wife. They're having problems over there now. Yeah. Where they're DNA testing and the African fathers are finding out they're not the father. So there's problems in all communities, which is why I'm not pointing out black women. That's why I wish people would listen with logic and not their feelings, because if they don't listen to this panel or whatever that they listen to with feelings, they're not going to really get the point of why we're even doing this in the first place, which is why, like, in my mind, I didn't want to start a YouTube channel. Even when I had 100,000 plus followers and everybody, I was shooting up there. Yeah, and my post got a lot of traffic. We're going to say that. I just was like, I don't want to deal with people. Like Kevin Samuels decided to sit in the flame and take it. Yeah, he saved so many marriages, so many relationships, so many single fathers, single mothers. He saved a lot of guys a heartache because a lot of them were going after women that didn't like them. He said, date who likes you, not who you like.
Go ahead, Jermaine. What did you say, bro?
Go ahead, buddy.
The thing about it is there's numbers on this. Black men are the most involved fathers in America. Right? We've been talking about these numbers for years now. Black women still come on this soapbox. And we didn't say anything about black women. You can tell black women come on here and they have their own soapbox and their own frustrations they want to get out. We were talking about women because there was a turn in the tide of two-parent households and children being raised well and education, and it came during the women's liberation. That's the only thing we said, right? Because we're talking about children, right? Also, only about 49% of black men have children compared to 68% of black women. Black women by the numbers, have 1 million more mixed race children than black men do, right? But white men get no blame for what's going on in the black community, right? So trying to just push the blame to black men, that old Ricky Lake, Oprah narrative is gone. It's over. We have the numbers now, so you can just stop that nonsense, right? Um, but back to the children, right? Where I working in with law enforcement, there are certain neighborhoods. I'm in Atlanta. There are certain neighborhoods that there are just groups of boys outside, right? And I'm talking about we visit homes, all this stuff. We don't know where any of their parents are. I'm telling you, like 20 dudes, bro, under the age of 17, just out there selling drugs, shooting guns in the air, scaring children, scaring the elderly, so on and so forth. We do not know what happened to these people's parents, right?
Right.
And that's what's going on with these kids. Like I said, law enforcement really don't do nothing as far as locking them up. The mothers and fathers aren't really on the same page,
Yeah.
right? And then the teachers can't do anything to them. And like I said, the only thing that is really stopping these kids is a bullet. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying Arabs have it right fully, but that was the right way to do it. Women are supposed to be under men, the submissive to men, right? That's what's supposed to happen. And what happens is women, when you allow women to go out there and be, have full control, authority of themselves, or whatever the case may be, this is what happens to a society. The Bible talk about not giving your power to them, right? Because they're all emotional and erratic, and it ends up being a dangerous house crumbling factor to a society. These women that come on these panels on these chats, they're spewing out these house crushing slander about black men, teaching other black women lies about us, and that has an ill effect between the relationship between black men and women. And she's only doing that because as a woman she's mad. I can tell her these statistics today, she'll be spewing the same thing tomorrow because facts don't matter, only my feelings.
I
Right?
was
So
going to ask that question. I was going to say, like, if he showed you what the stats were, would it change anything? Because a lot of people's minds are already made up, right? And you can't save everybody. So you just gotta make sure you like I got my wife, you know what I'm saying, and I make sure I protect her, and all the women that act like my wife, I make sure I protect them. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I look out for them, and me and my wife make sure we help them. We go the extra mile to make sure they straight, they protected. So, and that's how we got to do it, right? Because a lot of from all these negative things they've been saying about black men, right? A lot of us, we love black women. You know what I'm saying? We don't be saying nothing negative about it. Only thing we'll say about black women is, hey, we want them to change, we want them to get better. But we're not gonna say, all this negative stuff, because you know what I mean, I got a black woman, you know what I'm saying, and all my brothers got black women. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like we don't want to hate our women, you know, but a lot of like what they was taught, you know, because I was on a panel with Ali the other day, and he had asked a question: do black women actually love us? And I sat there and I thought about it, and I said, yeah. It's just they just don't know how to, because they wasn't taught how to, right? We was taught, you know what I mean, what how to treat them and how to cooperate. The ones that want to get married, the ones that do, not the ones that go out there, but the ones that actually want to be in a relationship, you know what I mean, the ones that want to be married. You know what I mean? Like I know Black Heart said you was married before, so you actually wanted to be with a black woman. You actually
There we
wanted to
go.
get married. You
And I
just
still
deal with the
am.
bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But
can I just answer that question real quick? It's a report on News One, and it's a study called "Don't Believe the Myth That Black Fathers Are Not There for Their Children," and it's a study held by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So it's a federal government agency that showed that black men are the most involved men fathers in America. Go ahead. I'm
Right.
sorry.
And they also showed the numbers with single fathers, how the kids pan out, single fathers, total opposite of single mothers. They're able to handle the load, and the kids come out a lot better because of how we discipline children and how we approach children. Women are more emotional. We all know that. Men are more logical. We come to more solutions. Women deal with the problems how they can. We just handle things differently, and we're more equipped to do that. Like for me, I'm willing to go through the problems, the trauma, and all of that with only Black women because I can relate to how they may be dealing with something and what they're going through. I understand it. And I can't deal with anybody else because, like, even with, like, okay, I'll go even deeper with this. Because this happened to me as a guy. I lost my virginity to somebody that raped me. I ended up calling the hotline today. I have some days I black out, and some days, like, I'm still living with this. It's trauma, it's PTSD. Like, I thought this woman was going to kill me. Ended up finding her page today because she popped up on my Facebook. I blocked it. I ended up going back through digging, went to the inboxes, and she actually apologized about me not being able to trust her. If she did anything wrong, why did I feel that way then when I was young? And then you got me trying to drink as an underage guy. Drinking is 21. I'm 17, 18 at the time. She's 23, 24. So it's a lot of stuff. I'm speaking from experience. Me and Jermaine and even James are speaking from numbers. Then it's like we can't keep deflecting. We're not just getting the numbers out of thin air. We're actually doing the research. And I mean, I got thousands of videos, just like James. I know James is sitting up probably like 1 million videos of examples of stuff that's really going on. Even with the kids, the whole panel is about really children. We were children at one point. We're not going to sit here and act like we can't give examples of when we were kids about how our parents parented, or about how I still remember sometime where other parents got on me and I couldn't avoid them disciplining me about certain things. They didn't play that either. The disrespect nowadays is happening because a lot of the behavior of children is going unchecked. Nobody's doing or saying anything about it. And then there's laws being passed. You can't even whoop them. You can't put them in timeout or as much as you want to. That doesn't work for every dynamic of whatever household that you have. And when you just have women disciplining kids, some of these kids grow up hating their mothers because most of the fathers should be doing the discipline. You know, if I have a daughter, unless she gonna burn the house down, unless she tried to kill somebody or stole something, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard for me to discipline my daughter because I see how I am with my niece versus my nephews. I'll be ready to wring their neck. When it comes to her, I'll be more gentle when it comes to her. And I'll let her know like certain things ain't gonna fly over here, or disrespecting my mother or your mother, it ain't gonna happen. Not while I'm around. They're different when I'm around. A lot different. But both of the fathers are locked up. And then you got a third. No, one of the fathers locked up, the other one's non-existent. He's got 5, 6 other kids. Poor choices by my sister, love her to death, but you know she made those choices. We have family members that are in these algorithms. I hold them to the same standard I hold the rest of them to. Same thing with me. I don't have kids out of wedlock. Now, have I had sexual experiences with women? Of course. My numbers are in the triple digits. I don't hide that. Women love experience. So it's an upper side to it, but behind my trauma, behind my body count, there's a lot of trauma that came with that. I was trying to wait till marriage. Somebody drugged me, you know, and that led to me going down a downward spiral. Like, okay, my virginity's gone well. I'm about to smash any woman I ever wanted. Went out there and hit celebrities, all kind of stuff. I got receipts. Just in one of these phones, just in this one, I got 12,000 screenshots. My phone in my book bag, another 15,000. The phone we on right now, probably got 20,000 screenshots in here.
Yeah.
I always keep receipts. I keep all my conversations too, because women are coming up with stuff 5, 10 years later because they hate you or you done made it. All this stuff. These are things as Black men on this panel. I wish my man, I don't know if that's a woman or a man behind that. So I'm going to just assume it's
this
a
one?
man.
That's a female.
So,
well, she said she was a female. So We'll
Okay.
just go with that. We
And
said,
she
she said
said,
again, where's the black male leadership? So with this, right? So this Travel One, what do you think black men should be doing? What's your outcome? What do you want black men to do?
It's such a deflecting question, though. By the way,
Yeah,
black
just
I
say
women.
again,
know.
where's the black male leadership? Because I can say I'm a leader in my household. I got my four boys in check. I'm got that good, but that might not be enough for you.
And I mentor the youth from the ages of 2 or 3 years old all the way up to 70.
Yeah.
So we could really dig into that. I go into the youth centers. I talk to the homeless. I help out the youth when they come and talk to me when I go to LA Fitness at the gym. I train kids.
Yeah.
So on top of working, on top of social media, when people come in my inbox, man, I need advice. Man, this girl is using me. I feel like she is. Okay, what's the situation? What's
Yeah.
the dynamic? I've even checked guys where there's a guy specifically, me and him still cool, but he was like, oh man, this woman, I got her number and I did this and I did that. I said, well, who asked for whose number? And I say I went into I hate that they use Kevin Samuels as an example because a lot of us were using some of the terminologies and stuff he used long before he got famous for it. You know, that's just how black men think. He's saying a lot of things that black men just want to say, but they're afraid to say. I
She
don't
said
care.
travel. She said travel has ideas, but black men need to develop a plan and make it known. So if we they're still not saying anything. So you gotta. So
First of all, it's posturing. That's the first thing. Like we know from the internet that black women have divested.
yeah,
They say it all over the internet. So if you're divested from the black community, why are you asking for leadership? Black men have therefore have divested from you. What do you want at this point if you're saying you're divesting? Yo, there are studies that show that black women prefer white men regardless of their physical trait or income. So they'll date a broke, fat white man, call him the leader, but the black man must be friggin' Tony Stark. That's what they're saying. To overcompensate for you being a black man, which they hate, they feel like you must be Tony Stark. That's what they're asking for. But when it comes to a white man, you can look like that fat dude from Seinfeld and be broke. Let's keep it real here. The studies show this.
All I'm gonna say is this better not be a single mother in these comments. She better be married with a family like James and sister lady over there. I swear to God, if I find out that this woman is she better be in shape in the gym, have her money together. She better own a house, a car. I'm talking about she better have a husband that loves her and not annoyed at home.
yeah.
I want to know at this point. She can comment that. I'm curious. Do you have any kids? Are you married? Answer those questions. What do you do for the youth? Are you checking black women? Are you checking black teenage women?
But now, only thing I'm gonna say is that we don't supposed to do that. It's just the men supposed to do that, right? But the women's supposed to teach the kids. The women's supposed to teach other women. So instead of us blaming one another, we should try to come together to develop a plan. Because if a black man say, "Hey, this is the plan," Ice Cube already did it. What did they do to Ice Cube when he developed that plan? What are all the black women? Oh no, we need a special plan for black women. They was like, nah, we don't want what you got for, because he was like, black people is black men and black women, right? And they was like, nah, it's different. You know what I'm saying? So we can't just say, hey, just black men go out there and just do some crap and then y'all gonna accept us, because just like Jeremiah said, most of black men don't have kids. Most of black men are in their kids' lives, and that's still not enough. You know what I'm saying? They still talking about the same stuff they was talking 30 and 40 years ago, rather than let's move this conversation forward and let's get these kids in order. Because in order to get these kids in order, like I was raised, I had my dad and my stepdad in my life, right? Soon as my mom and my stepdad was married for 27 years before he passed. And they probably would have been 30 something if he was still alive to this day. So when he first came into our life, he said, hey, he's gonna be able to whoop your butt. You can't try to pin us against each other, right? This is gonna be your new dad now. He's gonna be your stepdad, and he's gonna make sure that you know what I mean. You getting your stuff in order. He can pay for your insurance. He does this. You better respect him. If he tell you to do anything, you do anything. And I had him since I was like 3-4 years old, and he basically raised me to who the man I am today. You know what I'm saying? So all these type of conversations, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, she's not gonna answer that question, bro. I think it's just a troll. Sometimes I think it's AI. I don't think it's a real person.
You can't talk
You
about the
gotta.
product
You're supposed to have moderators. Where's the moderator at, James?
No, I like those type of comments because it
Yeah,
makes for great. It makes for great conversations.
That's true.
but
Yeah.
how are
That's
we
true.
supposed to talk about? How are we supposed to talk about the product without talking about the root? I don't understand how we're supposed to do that. We're talking about children. Black women are in charge of 88% of the children in America, right? As far as black children in America or women in general. So if you have the most control in the courts and as far as custody and all that stuff like that, you have to be the one to blame. That's what accountability is for. I don't go to the Walmart cashier and say, "Why is this price?" I say, "What is corporate's number?" Right? Then I call corporate. I don't call corporate and they just say, "Why are you always calling us? Why you don't talk to the cashiers? You're in control of this." So what are you talking about? That's what America gave you. America gave you the ability to have control of the children and marriage. So if that's not the case, then if you want to be under a black man's authority, then say so. But most of y'all don't want that. You want to be single, independent, don't need no man. So that's what you get.
And that's why, man, we gotta start wifing up the good women, man. Like soon as we find one, and that's what we mostly do, right? So as soon as I found my wife, I was like, all right, cool. I know she's white material. She got a little stuff that we got a little fixed right quick, whatever. But soon as she get this and this fixed, we good. We going to the altar. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we gonna have to do for the most part. But what's up? What's going on, James? What's up, brother?
Nothing much.
Hey man, appreciate for being here, man. I'm gonna let's get back into the video. I know you probably missed some, so I'm gonna put these videos, get back to it.
Keep saying Lickingston, then fine. So go back and
level and describe level. They're having
Lick.
no, go back.
See, bro, I feel like you trying to be funny now, bro.
I'm trying to help you, but if you want to keep saying Lickingston, then fine. So go back and say that word.
Bro, pick somebody else, bro.
teachers in the US are having a major problem with students not being smart enough.
I'm gonna just say this. I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level.
So teachers across the US are reporting on TikTok that students between grade 4 and 8 are completely behind their grade level, and it's driving teachers crazy.
I don't care how you flip it, turn it, swing it, swindle it. They still performing on the 4th grade level.
This situation is causing teachers to blame parents because they're responsible to keep up with how their child is doing in school and whether or not they're behind on school learning and studying after school or not.
Ain't nobody talking about how they just keep moving, passing them on. They just keep passing them on, 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 passing them on. I can put as many zeros in this grade book as I want to. They're gonna move that child to that grade next year.
People are also in disbelief that students are this behind, pointing to the fact that when they were in school, they had to do AP classes, write essays, and a bunch more work before they went to high school. Some people also think it's scary that students are this behind, saying thank God that passed school. But what's even crazier is studies show that students are now less educated and have a lower IQ score compared to previous generations. And some people are pointing out the fact that we're moving backwards, not forwards. But is this just a problem in the US?
Yo, so what y'all think about that, man?
You know what's crazy along with what they said? These kids shape society. They give you, they're the voices on when it comes to the LGBT or women's rights or everything, right? They have the biggest voice and they're the least educated. Sorry, go ahead, James.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the issue starts all the way down to kindergarten. See, the thing about it is that when you have two parents who both work, or you have one parent who is not, one parent who works all the time, providing for the household, and then the other parent who really has their own issues or not mentally capable of being an adult yet, and they have a child. Well, they want to defend that child rather than actually finding out what's going on with the child and working with the teacher to find out what the issue is. But it even goes even deeper than that. You also have nowadays that the teacher is trying to indoctrinate the child and put the child against the parents in their own home about what's going on. Uh, when I was married, I was talking to my ex's niece about certain things in school. And I was like, that's not true. She was like, well, you can't believe everything on the internet. And I was like, so you can't believe what time it is on the internet? I was like, and I'm trying to get her to think critically and
Yeah.
think for herself. But she was so far indoctrinated by what the teachers were saying that she couldn't even comprehend that. I'm like,
Yeah.
there are certain things that you can believe and there's other things that you can't, but the parent has to be the one to teach the child discernment of what is right, what is wrong, what is reality, what is not reality. And because of everyone trying to get to the 1%, it makes it very difficult for a parent to actually try to teach that child.
Yeah.
You got to
Man, you
have
know, oh my
you got to
bad.
have at least one parent to work outside of the home and one parent to stay at home.
I was just about to make that point because that's a sacrifice we made in our household. So when when my wife was teaching the kids, right? Because we have like three kids from age of 6 to 2 right now. So what she did, she stopped working and she homeschooled them for what I mean for the 6 years, basically almost 7 years, right? And now the 6-year old, he's already reading like at the second or third grade level, and he's in kindergarten. And he's not doing math. He was count to 100 at 3. You know what I'm saying? So she was putting all that stuff in him, and she had the time to do it because we made the sacrifice. We weren't living rich. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to get the product, go on vacations and stuff like that. We was like, no, we can't do that stuff right now because we have to make sure we put into our kids in order to make sure they okay when they get older. So now they talking about skipping him. They talking about doing a whole bunch of different things. And when he was born, he had a speech problem. He was the type that was reading before he was talking. So he was one of those kids, right? Like he didn't want to talk to nobody, but you put a book in front of him, he'll read.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he was like, it's some small percentage of people that do that. And now he's kind of trying to, open up and start talking more and stuff like that. But if we wouldn't even much been able to see that problem if we would just send them to daycare and just, all right, do whatever you gotta do and hopefully you make it. You know what I'm saying? No, you gotta make sure you teaching your kids at a young age. And like you said, it starts from a young age. You know what I mean? You said at kindergarten. Shit, I could probably say a little bit earlier, but I get what you're saying. So I'm with you, bro.
And I when I was in school, I learned this from my parents, and I was extremely hyperactive. And for a little boy, some people would say, "Oh, well, the little boy has ADHD," but no, little boy has testosterone, high testosterone.
Yeah.
And so, due to that fact, my parents allowed my second grade teacher to get that yardstick out, and whenever I didn't listen, hit them hands up.
Yeah. Facts.
So I didn't know that at the time, right? But I remember my second grade teacher's name. Never forgot it because she taught them hands up all the time. And so my parents gave my teacher the instruction of what they wanted to do so that they would be able to do what needs to be done outside of school. And so I was like, okay, now that I know this, let me straighten up. From that time forward, every grade after that had no issues.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But had my parents not been that way, who knows where I would be at.
Exactly.
Yeah, what the other guy was saying that was here about changing the way we educate children. Children love video games. Maybe education was game based. Like they have these little apps that are kind of like flashcards that you kind of give an answer to something, and they can memorize it that way. I don't know if that's the new way to do things, but now that we are overstimulated by anime and video games, it's hard to pick up a book. You know what I mean? Like after you just friggin' no scope somebody by jumping off of a mountain and then parachuting, you're gonna tell me you're gonna go read fences? It's not gonna feel as rewarding as that game we just played. So if that might be part of the answer, changing the way we educate.
and that's a good point you made, because me and my wife, we came up with a game plan, and appreciate it, James, bro. Appreciate you say, yo, James, you and your wife did a great thing with your son. Repeat that with the younger ones, and they'll do super. Yeah, man, facts. And what we did was we didn't allow them to watch Mickey Mouse. They couldn't watch all that, you know what I mean, all that cartoons, and you know how we was raised on Tom and Jerry, you know, all that type of stuff. I ain't let them watch that. I said they only they only watch educational videos. So if it wasn't about education and then like, they weren't watching it, and that kind of like to Jeremiah's point, that kind of helped them steer them. Now he loves to learn. He's just, all right, I want to go learn something. He get mad when we tell him, hey, you got to go to sleep. You can't learn no more. He gets angry with us because he's like, man, I want to learn more. You know what I mean? He just got a hunger for learning that. So, you know what I mean? I don't know if that did it or it's just him and his nature, but I know we had a little small part in it.
I would
Yeah,
say
that's
that
called structure.
Yeah.
I would say that you're doing the right thing by homeschooling your children, just for the simple fact that what they're doing in schools now, they're trying to take out learning about who we are, just that little bit that we know, Martin Luther King and different ones like that. They're trying to take that out, critical race theory.
Mm-hmm.
And but the thing about it is that by you teaching your children at home, they know exactly how to act when they get outside the home.
Yep.
Whereas when you send your child off to school, they're there for 8 hours out of the day, and the school is their parent now.
Yep.
You can't go to that school and get your child out for any old reason. Sometimes you gotta have a doctor's note. You gotta call ahead. Don't let something pop off like a mass shooting at a school or something like that. You definitely not getting your kid. And don't try to go to get them off a school bus. It's not happening. You put your foot on that school bus, they will lock you up. That's a Class D felony.
Damn, but
And
you always
so
do the facts, man.
you can't when it comes to putting your children in public school, you are no longer the parent.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just do what you want to do. It's not gonna happen. You might be able to talk to that teacher on parent teacher night, talk to them crazy, but when it comes down to nah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
Hey.
don't understand when it comes down to other things like birth certificates, stuff like that. All these different things that they have set up for society and how they want children to be taught, raised, and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
The parent, the biological parent, has an uphill battle as soon as that child is born. And so if you're not taking care, if you're not going to take the child's education as something that being important, your child's going to be at a third grade level. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
It's
Appreciate it, Jermaine. Appreciate that, brother, man. Appreciate it for seeing this super chat, man. And no problem, James. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for being here, man. So everybody, please like the video, share it loud, share the screen. We'll get back to these videos right quick.
I'm calling out all the parents. If you're a parent and your child is
So this is what caused us to kind of want to talk to about this video, but we got some more videos after this too as well. But all right.
in pre-K to elementary school to high school, I'm calling you out. The children today, I have never experienced, and I'm 22. Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. I teach 5-year-olds ballet. 5-year-old girls ballet. I have a class of 10 students. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. They're throwing things at each other. They're throwing things at other people, other classmates. You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You confront the parent. The parent tries to argue with you and fuss at you because you tried to reprimand and redirect their kid. I told a young little girl, please sit in your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay.
Wow.
When her mom came to pick her up, I said, hey, your daughter's having a hard time following instructions. And 7 times today, I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly she didn't want to sit, and mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to fucking sit right there. So, I mean, if she's telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it.
Wow.
What world do we live in? Like, what in you guys' brain as a parent says, my kid not following any directions is a great thing. It's not that serious, and y'all don't have a right to tell her what to do. It's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And another thing that's heart-wrenching is horrifying.
But yo, this is crazy, man. This is crazy.
I personally think she's bashing black women and she needs to stop.
I'm glad I sensed the satire, man. I'm telling you, but she's I could tell she's tired of it. I do
Yeah.
want to say this though. Where was these teachers at when I was a kid? Teachers we had disgusting looking. You know what I'm saying? Like these teachers are next level. Like, look, take me home, whatever. Let me stop. I ain't saying
Hey, stay focused. We must stay focused, my brother.
Well, you know, man, the crazy thing about it, like, so even her, like, she's showing like a level of wife material right now. So, for her to even be saying this type of stuff, and because a man, the scariest thing that we want to see is, the scary thing for us is how our kids are going to be raised, and if a woman can't understand, like, hey, it has to be structure in the household, we already like, nah, we good. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm glad that she has a young, because she's 22 years old. So hopefully either she's getting married soon or she should be married hopefully in the next 3 years. Hopefully she don't let a lot of these crazy women, you know what I mean, brainwash her. But it's crazy how her as a 22-year-old know this, but these people with kids probably named 25, 26, or 30 don't even much know what she knows at 22.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, James. Here's the catch-22 that a lot of us don't notice. I guarantee her husband or potential suitor is a white man. That's what multiple black women have told me. That white men get the best black women. I've seen like TikTok streams or chains or whatever you want to call it, where black women say good behavior is reserved for white men. Wow. So that's the whatever you want to call it, catch-22 of when you see a black woman like this. They reserved a certain behavior for white men and a certain behavior for black men. And like I said before, it doesn't even matter if they have money or not, or look good or not. Studies show that.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I've been quiet lately. I want to combat that because the women I've been dealing with, man, they treat me like a king. I don't know, it's a little different, but I think that is on a person-to-person basis. For me, I've been able to get the women I want. Most guys can't get the women that they desire. Most. But most aren't doing the work either. And it's showing because most women are sleeping with the same men. We know those numbers too. I just happen to be one of them. So I have to, but my thing, I know, James, don't judge me. I have to let women know up front what it is. You know what I'm saying? They
But
do.
Blackheart, this is not my personal experience. This is what they're saying.
Oh yeah, no, I'm speaking on my personal experience. Screw what they saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of them that say this and say that, and I'm just like, you know what? Let them talk. Like, I'm seeing all of this bashing going back and forth. It's not really doing anything to help as far as couples go, but it is helping some of the black men saying, hey, we're tired of it. We'll go look elsewhere. Because even other societies look at the Western society like, man, it is bad over there. They sleeping with everybody. They doing this. Just like the loudmouth trucker tried to go to Dubai and run her mouth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There is no yelling over there, period. The
Yeah,
men
yeah.
can't even do it unless you're like a prince type of guy or somebody that's running Dubai. They don't even raise their voice at their people. So you think you gonna yell over there and be a loudmouth? She had to learn the hard way. Luckily, she had the money to survive over there. A lot of people thought she was locked up. See, the internet and the media here be spinning stuff.
But if you do the research, you know the truth. And the truth showed that she was free. She was staying in the hotel over there the whole time. She was being held, and her passport got took so she couldn't leave.
Yeah.
But she had to pay a hotel fee the whole time she was there.
Yeah.
She had the money to stay there. She just lost a lot of money. She'll be able to get that back when she got back. But a lot of other footage came out because nobody was defending her. And this woman she started leaking footage and
Yeah.
was like, yeah, this woman went off on my ex-husband. No,
Exactly.
not ex-husband, but
Her
my husband for this. And this is how she conducts herself. She's a loudmouth. She does this. A lot of women here, and it's showing in the children in the videos we are seeing, a lot of the behavior is going unchecked, and everybody is getting tired of it.
Yeah.
Other black women are starting to turn on other black women. That sisterhood stuff can only last so long. But brotherhoods operate a little different because we operate on logic. And most of the time nowadays, we can just fight it out. Niggas is starting to fight again and starting to be cool. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're sleeping with somebody's wife and all of that.
Yeah, that's
Ain't
that's
nobody
another
get
level.
used to
You
that.
crazy doing that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a lot of loyalty issues just around, period.
Yep. Carla
You know
said
what
something
I'm
about
saying?
that too. Appreciate Carla. She said, I bet she's saying this for attention. Let me look her IG up. Hey, because
Nah,
now, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
saying this
nah,
I don't
she not
know,
saying
man.
this for attention.
I
She
don't
not doing
know.
that. I already checked the IG out, and she legit. She legit
okay.
with how she is for
Hey,
real.
you own it, James. I see you. You seen something. You seen your future wife or something.
When we find
Nah,
a
nah,
sister
nah.
that's
That's
fine,
that,
we gonna go check.
that's too young. Too young. She'll have
Hold
me.
on,
She'll have
how
me.
old are you, Brody?
42.
What?
How old is she?
She's 22.
22? You
That ain't
42?
too young for you at all.
But the thing about it is that she's right. But it also goes to it's what some people in church will call inbred sin, meaning that you have the grandmother who didn't want the man in the household bashing grandpa because grandpa didn't want to stick around because of how grandma was. So then grandma tells the daughter, don't go to school, get your education, this, that, and the other. And then it goes on and it continues. So then when the granddaughter gets pregnant, she got no man in the household, and she's with her girlfriends running her mouth and doing that. You got a son or a daughter picking up that same exact stuff. You remember how we grew up. Little children, nickels and dimes, don't be in the same area when dollars and quarters is talking. You heard that saying? Little children go in the other room.
Yep, exactly.
Well, not anymore. Everybody's talking about whatever, and the kid is standing right there. So they think that, oh, I could talk like mom. I could talk like my dad. No, you can't.
One thing a lot of people
And so
don't
they act
see.
out in school.
One thing a lot of people don't see is these kids is chaos, bro. Even the so-called good kids is chaos. Like what you don't see on the other side of a prank is somebody getting fired. Like somebody would go into a dormitory where a bunch of college students are staying and knock on somebody's door and hit them with a pie of whipped cream or whatever the case may be. Then they call us, and whoever was responsible for not letting them in, that person got to get fired. You know, if you confront them, these kids, you might think they're just throwing a pie at somebody's face. These dudes is armed. So
Yeah.
if you get in a conflict with them, now Bullet's gonna get fired because you want to play around and do a darn prank, right? And it's too many of these kids that are raised off this like prank, clownery, meme type of lifestyle where like anybody would just start a channel like that.
Yeah.
It's the stuff you see is not innocent. On the other side of that, it's all type of stuff going on happening to that business or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So these kids are straight chaos, man. Straight chaos. You have the ones that are like running into stores and stealing all the stuff and running out and all that stuff. Listen, I just saw a video. It happened in California. Now the adults are standing outside the store, basically threatening that if these kids show up again, that is going to be armed conflict.
Mm.
Adults versus kids.
Yeah, man.
If they don't want to see all the stores leave their neighborhood.
But see, you
Okay?
got you got to look at it again. It goes back to about the two parent household. the single mothers can't run a household by themselves because they don't have the discipline or the logic in order to do it. And a lot of people don't understand these things, but a single parent household is not going to get it. You got to take it all the way back to the way it was meant to
We
be.
need both. We
And
need
we're
each other, man.
and the thing about it is that us as a community, we out of pocket. We way out of the pocket. Women trying to run the show. You're not supposed to be the head of the household. Never was supposed to be the head of the household.
Yeah.
And if you out here, if you're a single woman out here, you still under your daddy's household until
Yeah.
you find a husband. If you're
Man.
trying to be correct about it.
Man, you made me think of something, right? I remember when I was in Afghanistan, right? And I had my face shaved. You know, being in the military, right? You had to shave your face, and just in case you need your gas mask. And the way those people looked at us, I was like, why are they looking at us so crazy, right? And it was like, he said, because your face is shaven, so you look like a grown man, but your face is shaven, so they look at you as a baby. You know, so just their whole culture, the cultural difference of how the world sees us, and that's how they see us with women in leadership, right? So if a woman's in a leadership role, they just like, your men are weak. You know what I mean? And I remember even like I remember a reporter was over there talking to somebody in like a Middle Eastern country, and he asked them like, "Hey," he asked the reporters, like some white guy, was Arab guy talking to a white guy, and he was like, "Man, how many wives you have?" And he was like, "Oh, I'll just have one." And he's like, he talked to his buddy. He started laughing at him like, "Just one?" Ha ha ha! And he's like, "These are all my wives right here." And I was like, "It's just, man, this show was funny." Like, cause like to them, it's like we are like the bottom of men because we're not able to keep our women in line and you know what I mean have that structure of family and making sure you know our women are protected and looking right and living right. And our women over here wouldn't dare do that over there, but they don't respect us enough over here to that allow them to have all the freedoms that they have. You know
What
what I mean?
Americans don't know is America is only best at military. That's it. Like everything else that we have comes from our military power. Our money is backed by our military power. So it's just because you might look at them as a third world country or they're backwards or whatever, or you might use the word progressive for America and not for that country, doesn't mean they're better. It just means we're more well armed. That's the difference between those countries and America. But America is a crumbling society, right? Nobody agrees. You go to one of those marches, bro, you got Antifa, you got the Proud Boys, you got the LGBT,
Black
all these
Lives
people
Matter.
all different ideas. You know what I'm saying? It's complete chaos. You know what I'm saying? No wonder the kids look the way they do. Or behave.
I have to disagree with one thing that you said in your statement. When we speak about where we live at, let's be 100 with it. America is the continent. The United States is not the whole American continent. Let's call it the United States. Because when we say America, we saying Canada, we saying Mexico, Nova Scotia, we saying Greenland, Iceland, we saying Belize, Colombia, Brazil. All those places are in America. United States is one spot in the continent of America. Because when we say that, we may have a teenager watching this live, and they saying, "Oh, America did this, America did that." No, Canada didn't do nothing, because Canada is not a part of the United States. We gotta call it where we live at.
I think geography. It's based on what most people refer to the United States as. They call it America.
Gotta stop doing that.
Canada doesn't call itself America. Mexico.
I know that, but what I'm saying is,
doesn't call itself
if we continue to perpetuate a lie, then other people and as well as the children, our offspring, will believe that lie. That's like saying the white man is white. He's not white. If you look up the definition of the word black, you'll find out who's white.
Yep.
You'll find out who's not white.
But thanks, Carla, for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. Thanks for coming on that. And he said, but the U.S. has a big influence on the world. That's why, yeah. that's and we seeing and we kind of seeing like a lot of other countries starting to pick up the philosophy that we have here, and they kind of starting to deteriorate too as well, kind of what James was talking about. So man, we just got to make sure we taking care of our families, and especially you know what I mean, as a black man, and that's what most black men are doing. But we have to encourage the other brothers that's not doing that to, you know what I mean, to stop if they ain't, you know what I'm saying. But that's what we do for the most part, man. But we can always improve and always try to get better, you know what I'm saying. But
I keep hearing people talk about black men building. Like, what do you want us to build? Like, America's about to be crushed. Don't realize this. America is about to be wiped off the map. You want us to build here? Really? This is not the place we should be building. You know what I'm saying? When those France and all of them get together, it's a wrap for this place. You know what I'm saying? Yup. A lot of people might feel real comfortable talking, with the white government behind them. Listen, this place is gonna get wiped off the map. They in the wrong business at the wrong time, right? They over there with Ukraine. They over there with Palestine and Israel. You knocking on the wrong doors, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to building, when you talk about that, we should be talking about a small society of black people that have a like mind. That's what we should be talking about. You know what I'm saying?
How about building just your home first? Start at
Exactly.
home.
That's what
Don't worry about everything else out there, because you gotta get your household first.
Exactly.
That's what the United States does. They go everywhere else in the world. They don't care about nothing about at home. They want to give billions away to everybody else, but at home it's crumbling, falling apart. And then you want to turn around and act like you're doing something. You're not doing nothing. Take care of
That's what the
home
scriptures
first,
say
and
too.
then expand out.
Exactly. That's what the scriptures say too. It says, how can you lead the church or whatever, and you can't even you don't got your home in order. So you first got to get your home in order first, and then now you can start, you know what I mean, doing outreach and all that type of stuff, right? But you know what I mean, we got to start with us picking the right women. You know what I mean? We doing the right thing with our kids and raising them right. My bad. Go ahead, Jane.
Even the rich man knows that. He knows that he has to first get his finances in order first before he can actually give out anything. Dave Ramsey teaches you that in his baby steps. The last step is to be a steward of your money and give back to those who don't have. First step is to save $1,000.
If we're gonna be picking the right women, we're gonna be all picking from a group of 5 women.
Yo, man. Hey, but let's get back to this video, man. We got a few more.
It is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town and Ski Yee. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music. And they are asking me, can we hear Pound?
Dang, she about to cry.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I'm so scared for these little girls today, because this is the most insane agenda push I have ever seen in my life. We do freeze dance. You guys' daughters are twerking at 5. Where's the parenting? Where's the boundaries? Where's the help? Y'all are not helping your kids. You're hurting them. You guys are hurting them. I come every day dressed, ready to go, and I'm in school too. I'm in college. I mean, I put bows in my hair. I'm wearing leotards. I'm trying to get them interested in like proper things for their age, and you guys are exposing your kids to this raunchy secular music. Why is you guys' 5-year-old's daughter singing Pound Town?
I feel so bad for her, yo. Like, she just had hope for these kids, and her hope was crushed, bro. I've been there. It might have been 10, 15 years ago, but I've been there.
Yeah. That's crazy. But these are some of the lyrics for the song. It says, I'm out of town thugging with my rounds. My
coochie pink, my booty hole brown. I actually like the song, sadly.
Oh,
you know
my
what I'm saying?
gosh.
But a 5-year-old listening to that and twerking to it and they know the whole lyrics is insane. And I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of laughed a little bit cause I understand she's so feminine and so soft, man, to a
Yeah.
point where she just wants to do her job and she wants to influence the kids to do something positive. And she has to deal with like raunchy behavior. She's dealing with kids, bastard kids from hood rats. I
Yeah.
mean, this is the world we live in. This is why I think people need to rethink. A lot of the school system won't change until people stop taking those jobs. And they say, "Oh, it'll hurt the kids. It'll hurt." This is exactly why in this country, when people support certain things, and instead of saying, "All right, we're gonna stand against this. We're gonna go on strike, whatever," and they're not gonna make any money. Think if everybody decided they're not going to work for just 1 or 2 days max, they're not going to work. Oh man, this world would be upside down. This country.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We need to freeze this woman in the hyperbolic chamber for after the bombs. Unfreeze her after the bombs go off, and then clone her because that she's one
This
of a
is
kind.
crazy.
She's the only woman I've seen like this on the internet. Literally the only woman. I'm not going to take it any further. I'm gonna say woman. She's the only woman I've seen on the internet like this.
But no, man,
So
honestly, a lot of the women that's like her, they don't really be on the internet like that.
No, they ain't not on the internet.
Exactly. They just kind of be doing their own thing, and then once you kind of like find them, you like, hold on, where you come from? Like, where you been hiding and stuff like. And they like, yo, like I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm ready to get wiped. Like, because I met a couple women, like my wife was like that, but I met some other women that was like that too as well. And I'm like, yo, why are you not trying to get married? But some of them, they like, I never thought about it. It just, and they the sweetest girls in the world, but they just, yeah, nobody never really talked to me about it. Like, I'm just here working, and it's a very nice smile every time you see them. You know what I mean? Very feminine and everything, and it just they just not really getting pushed that like how they used to back in the day.
what's the
I'll
name of the
tell you.
girl that sang
I'll
that
tell you
song?
this.
Sexy Red.
Oh, 'cause
Pound
I just be
town.
calling her, I just be calling her Booty Hole Brown. I ain't really know her name until now.
Hey,
Booty
I'll
Hole.
tell you this.
she got the joint, and it's sad. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to put that on right now on my way to where I'm
Bro, you
going.
are
You
the
know what I mean?
problem, bro. You
No,
are
bro.
the problem.
She got the song Hellcat. That's one of my favorites.
Bro,
And then
you
it
are
got
the problem, bro.
no.
That
I'm
is
not. I don't
not
listen to that
music.
around kids. I'm not the
That
problem.
is
I'm
not music.
ratchet. I'm a hood
Oh,
nigga from
that is
Detroit. You got to give me my credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm educated. But I like the music. We're not gonna sit here and say we don't like to shoot 'em up. Well, y'all probably don't. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I listen to jazz, country, score music. I write music. I used to play in the band. I used to write musical notes. I used to teach music. But everybody got a personal life outside of this. You know what
Hey
I'm
man,
saying? We can say we like to do regular things in the bed and all of that. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. Am I teaching this to kids? No. But the one that came, okay, I had her join the panel, not join the panel, but I had her join the live and watch. My Leica, that's her name. She's from South Africa. Yeah, I'm not about to sit here and lie. Like, hey, that's one of my biggest supporters. I've been bragging about her for the longest. Hey, all kind of, and she even told me, she like, look, as long as you run it by me, if you want a second wife, if we ever get married, you can get a second wife. Her mindset is different.
yeah.
Submissive as hell, all of that. I don't have to go back and forth with her. Not ratchet, but do we listen to the ratchet music together? Yes, we listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? But it's a time and a place for it. So when girl is when you see me trying to see with ski with 4 and 5 year olds in the classroom, that's excessive. Do it on your own time. Matter of fact, get this red ass bitch up out of here. Why is she here?
Yeah.
Look at the thumbs up. I like the new iPhones. The iPhone update.
See, the thing about it is when it comes down to like I know I'm related to a lot of women that are like that young lady right there.
Damn.
Very feminine, very respectful,
Yeah.
know how to treat a man. My a cousin of mine just got remarried, and I'm like, I hope that this guy know exactly what he got because he got
Yeah.
a real gem. A real gem. She was raised right. She was taught to be respectful, and like she automatically knows how. I asked her. She told me one time that she was uh, saving money, helping her previous husbands to save money and everything. And so she was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna use the dryer. I'm gonna put the clothes out on the clothesline. I was like, what you know about a clothesline and clothespins? You
Yeah.
only 20 some odd years old. They don't do that no more.
Yeah.
But she know about that because her mother taught her right.
Mm-hmm.
Her pop taught her right.
I
They
hate to
didn't
be the
let her go out when she got divorced. They didn't let her be out there in the street finding her by herself. No, she came back to her parents' house. Her pop was like, "Nah, don't be talking to the boy next door. What you doing over there?" He was not having it. That's that's how the men have to be.
I
You
hate to be
take
the
care of
dad.
your daughter until the time that she meets the next man, and when she meets that next man, get married. Okay, now you off on your own. You still come back and talk and get
I hate
help,
to be the gaslighter or the problem maker or the troublemaker here, but
but you're not doing
even
it on
with
your
that
own.
woman, we can't marry her because she likes me. You know what I'm saying? So even that's a problem. We marry or date a light skinned woman, we colorists. So we can't even marry her anyway. We gotta wait till we find a darker woman that act like her.
Shit.
Apparently.
Dude, you better, man. As long as they black, they good to me. Shit, they better fuck y'all. Goddamn.
Exactly.
I'm
As
gonna get
long as they got a
mine.
good head on their shoulders and they know what they're talking about and they respectful and they know how to be submissive when it's supposed to be, because a submissive woman will actually raise your status out in public. She know how to do that.
Thanks. Hey James, I appreciate y'all having me, bro. I stayed. I said, let me check in with the brother. You know what I'm saying? I
Nah, always
appreciate
a
the
pleasure.
opinions, the conversation. I appreciate the two brothers over here, James and Jerome. Jermaine, I'm sorry about that. Could have
So
sworn I seen a Jerome in here not too long ago, but no, I appreciate y'all brothers having me, man. I want y'all to definitely enjoy y'all day and be safe, man.
Yeah,
hey
man. Get
Black
home safe, bro. Be safe out there, man.
hey
Man,
Black
I
Heart.
appreciate it.
Hey Black
Be
Heart.
safe.
Ski you?
Yeah. Ski. If you see me and you trying to see what's up, I'm about to put that on. I ain't even gonna hold you. Hellcats, SOTs, let me stop it. Let me stop it.
Oh boy.
I'll get with y'all boys though.
All right,
All
then, brother, man. See you.
right, you have a good one. But
That's
I tell
crazy.
you this, like a lot of parents nowadays, they let their children watch whatever. When we was growing up, it was if an adult scene came on, it was
Turn around.
Yup. I
close your
remember that.
eyes.
I
And
remember
you up
that.
there going like this, squinting, trying to see what was going on. You already know.
Yo, they told me to turn around. It was a mirror behind me, so I was looking at it through the mirror.
Exactly. You was sneaking to try to figure out what was going on. I
Yeah.
Yo,
could tell
man.
you the first time I ever swore. You remember the movie Fat Boys?
Yeah, old school fat boys?
Talking about when
Yes,
they went to
old
that
school
camp.
Fat Boys. The
When they went to
movie.
when they went to the camp.
Yeah. And he
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
son of a I said the same exact thing, and my pop jumped down my throat. He was like, boy, don't let me catch you here saying that again.
yeah.
That's the first time. But what it comes down to is the parents have the responsibility first when it comes down to the discipline and also the child rearing and being respectful, because in Japan there is no pre-K. They don't send you to school to go reading and writing at a 2 and 3 year old age. What they do is they actually send you to like what they send girls to go to school for when they finishing school. They send you there to learn to be respectful, to learn to be polite to each other, to be kind to each other. Those things, that's what they do in Japan at an early age. And then after you pass that, then you start going into school for other things.
It's like a charm school.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
so and that's boys and girls. They teach you how to respect your elders first.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Because
That's what we need.
nobody considers that essential. Nobody can do that type of social interaction essential because it actually does teach you that when an adult speaks, that there's a level of adherence that you have to have. You know what I'm saying? That does have some effect.
I stopped listening to music and stopped listening to the radio for that one reason. They always talking about smashing this, calling this female that, calling this dude this, and you ain't got this or you shooting up this. I'm like, it's always the same thing. And so I stopped
Exactly.
listening to music because one, they not singing anyways because it's auto-tuned everything.
Yeah. But shoot, man, let's get back to these videos, man. I got a few more guys, so appreciate y'all, man. Great conversation so far.
A teacher now fired after treating her student rudely. A rage-filled argument broke out between a teacher, her student, causing classroom chaos. The student had stopped doing her work nearing graduation, causing the argument. The argument quickly escalated when the student started by telling the teacher,
Oh, you're bending down. Are you sure you aren't going to break a hip?
only for the teacher to come back at her student.
You know, my hips are actually in better shape than your hips.
You want to tell me why that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I exercise and you don't.
Students now sharing multiple videos of the girl causing the internet to praise the teacher for standing up.
On your way? Yeah, because you exercise and I don't. I'm coming on my fucking weight. You need to leave me the hell alone.
Reportedly, the teacher has now lost her position after the argument quickly escalated and was shared on social media. Users think the teacher had been honest for the student's good sake.
You don't scare me. Guess what? You don't scare me. I don't want to.
And crazy thing, she got fired for telling the damn truth.
Too soft. People are too. Listen, there are minority groups in this country, and they've over corrected, I guess you want to call it, for what you call a minority group now. It's like they're too soft on them, and it's like, to me, I think they know what they're doing. It's not just they're trying to overcorrect for being, oppressive. I think it's benign neglect where these minority groups need a sense of structure and policing, and now it's nothing. Like, listen, my fifth or sixth grade math teacher, he was a jerk, but not in a really bad way. And I respected him for it. He used to crack jokes on you all the time. He would flame dudes, you know what I'm saying? And we all loved him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We was knuckleheads. You know what I'm saying? So just because she came back at her and flamed her, she shouldn't be fired for that. That's way too soft.
See,
You know what I mean?
the thing about it is that society has become weak. Period. And if you look at if you even look at the government now versus the government 20 years ago, the government 20 years ago did not play.
Mm-hmm.
The government now, they can't even get a budget together. So if they can't get it together up there, how you expect them to get it together in school? Like, the teacher no longer has the authority to state how the classroom is going. So they can't even teach certain things in the classroom anymore. So if the teacher can't even teach you anything about actual history, then how you expect them to have control over the classroom? The only way that the teacher's going to have control over the classroom is if that teacher sets the bar down and sets the boundaries just like this. Like, if you can't follow instructions, you ain't got to be here. There's the door.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be here, there's the door. I'm not going to stop you. You get caught in the hallway, that's your problem, not mine. I had teachers that were like that. I had a sixth grade teacher who was Muslim. He taught just almost everything about Middle Eastern studies based off of how the NOI. He was a part of the NOI. So when he taught Muslim studies, Middle Eastern studies, he taught you the pillars of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Something that most students don't even know nothing about. If that one woman who started acting out of pocket knew about Middle Eastern studies, she wouldn't have went over there and got herself locked up in her hotel room.
Facts. Yeah,
because
man.
you can't go over to any Middle Eastern country and do the same thing here.
Yep.
Nah, it don't work like that.
Even us, man, me being in the military, right? They gave us a training because we had to know it's certain practices you can't do before you go to another country. So when we went to Afghanistan, we had to sit through like a couple hour class on things what to do and what not to do when interacting with those people. And like we learned some of the cultural practices that they do. Like some of them, they like kind of sit on each other's lap. Then that's not like a form of, but here that might be, you might think that person is swing the other way, but to them that's just completely normal. That's a sign of, you know what I mean, friendship type of deal. But it's a whole bunch of different cultural differences in background that we don't really get because we only think of America as the only good way. That's it. You know what I mean? Rather than thinking like, hey, other people got, you know what I mean, some great things that they doing on this side we can learn from. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Definitely.
I'm
Like
sorry.
India.
That's the one,
India.
man. Go ahead.
Over in India. Sorry about that. Over in India, you can't left hand, right hand, left hand you shake with. Right hand is
Oh,
a lot of people don't know that.
I know that.
Yeah. You gotta you when you go to another country, you gotta before you leave the United States, if you're not going over to France, Germany, England, that's the red, white, and blue, got the same colors as the US. We're not going over to places like that with the same colors that's friendly. Well, you go to other countries, some Asian countries, some African countries, even some South American countries. You got to know what you're doing over there because you will find yourself either beat down, end up in a hospital, or in jail, or being deported real quick. And it's off of something small. They don't play.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Hustler? What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. What's up? Sir James got all the fame. Ain't no shame in your game.
Hey, what's going on, man? Just chilling, watching these videos, man. I don't know. Did you catch
Oh,
that?
what's up, Jermaine?
Hey, it
What'd
was
you say? I'm
good.
sorry.
Bro, it's good.
I'm all right. I'm all right. What'd you say, James?
I said, you catch that last video?
The last thing I saw was that little girl giving the middle finger to her mom. I'm like, what the? Oh my God. If that was my daughter, you getting an ass whooping on that bus and off the damn bus. I ain't playing that. No. If I did that to my mama, she'd go upside my head, left down, right upside my head in a heartbeat. So what is with this?
Exactly, man. Exactly. It's crazy. But
I mean, these kids today are just so out of control. I mean, badass kids is nothing new, but I think back in the day when we were in school, at least the badass kids got the ass whoopers that they deserve. And not only that, we held parents accountable for their fuckery, you know? Nowadays, I'm seeing less and less of that. Teachers are now holding parents accountable. Parents are holding teachers accountable. No one's accountable. No, there's no accountability on either side, it seemed like it.
Exactly.
I mean, sure, they'll blame the school system, but hey, the school can't do so much.
Yeah, man. And this is the time we got to fight as men to kind of send our kids. Like, I know, like, I watched the video the other day, I think it was yesterday, about how this woman was kind of trying to keep her daughter for 6 years. She kept him away for 6 years, and he's trying to get in the kid's life, coming to the birthday party with gifts and stuff like that. And she don't want to, you know what I mean, allow him to be a part of life because he moved on and had another woman and stuff like that. But man, we gotta it's crazy, man. We got to make sure we kind of doing our part and making sure we at least get wiped up. But this guy I know he had a trouble past, so I know he made a lot of damn mistakes, man. But we just got to do better as a people. Yeah, man. So
yeah, that is true. And I remember y'all mentioned about going overseas or whatever. And you know what? I agree. When you go to other countries, you do have to learn the culture, learn the rules. Because what you can get away with out here in America, not going to fly overseas. I'm pretty sure y'all remember a year ago there was a female trucker who went to Dubai acting a fool when she got arrested.
Yeah,
y'all remember that story, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Exactly. Yeah, man. But shoot, let's go back to the videos right quick.
Worst school in Chicago PT.
Y'all hear that? He said 4 times 4. That man said 8.
That's not funny. That is not funny. But all I can think of is, as a man, if that was my son, I'd put a boot in his behind, bro. You have no respect for adults? Like, no, bro. That's not happening. That's not happening. I don't know what's happening in these homes, but for a child to not have respect for the adults at the school, no. It's not. It's not about. It's not about you not getting a PlayStation. You getting a boo. You know what I'm saying? Legally, the legal way. But I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. Look, I can't. I couldn't let that rock.
I I can tell you this. When my brother was that age, he tried hitting a teacher in school, and that's after my parents got divorced. My mom called my pop up. Pop came over, checked my brother, picked him up, and my pop literally shook the entire house. Now there was 3 floors to this house,
Yeah.
separate apartment units. First floor, 3 bedrooms. Second floor, 3 bedrooms. Third floor, 3 bedrooms. You heard the whole building shake when he checked my brother. He picked him up off his feet. My brother never did that again.
Yeah, man.
It goes
How did
like
he
I said.
shake the whole house?
He
The
he
nigga
picked him up
Hercules.
and put him up against that
He did.
wall and checked him. He checked. He was
Wow.
like, You want to act like a grown man? I'm about to show you what a grown man can do." He never did it
I
again.
bet you he. I bet you ain't gonna do that shit again.
No,
Mm-mm.
Listen,
but
when I have kids, I'm gonna ask the teacher to do one thing. I'm gonna say, listen, give me your number, and when I call you, I need you to put the Undertaker's ringtone on your phone. So when I call, he knows what's coming.
Boom.
Boom! I'm telling you, bro.
Boom.
You know what's
Dun,
coming.
dun, 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 dun,
That
dun,
one
dun.
too. Or Star Wars, the dog,
Rest.
bro. I'm telling you.
Rest in peace.
see, what happens is that nowadays it goes back to what you heard on like one of the Medea movies, when Tyler Perry said parents nowadays is trying to be their children's friend.
Exactly.
You can't be a child's friend at all. You got to be the disciplinarian. You got to be the one to lay down the law and keep everything right. I can tell you this: um, 3 children that I knew when I was married, um, previous nieces and nephews. They didn't want to listen to their parents, but when they came over to my place one time, the kids was acting up, not wanting to listen. Told to put their shoes on, told to put their coat on. I said, "Boy, put your coat on." Then after that, sit your butt down on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 of them sat down because the way that I did things, the way that I ran things, I was not playing with them. You
Mm-hmm.
told to go to bed. I don't care if you're afraid of the dark. Keep talking. You're about to learn what darkness is all about because I'm closing the door and shutting the light off.
Let me show you the power of a black dad. There was a school in Louisiana that had a huge violence problem, right? Fighting, weapons, whatever, right? They created a group called Dads on Duty, where
Oh yeah.
would go to that school, monitor the hallways, right? It wasn't all intimidation. They was cracking jokes with people passing by, all type of stuff like that. The violence disappeared. The kids
Yep.
start doing better. And I'm talking about a few dads. Not everybody's dad showed up to the
It was
school.
like 5, right? 5 or 6, I think.
Maybe 12 at max or something like that. That's what the initial report, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say they did some great work in that school, and a certain segment, I'm going to use quotes, of the community trashed them for that, saying why do they have all that free time to go to the school? They should be having jobs. And they had to explain themselves that they come after work or before work. I'm not saying what segment of the community that is. I'm just saying a certain wink of segment of the community trashed them for fixing a black school. Just want to say that.
Everybody ain't gonna make
Ain't
it.
that some shit? And you know what? Let me say this. How much you want to bet if it was a bunch of mothers up there, they wouldn't have said shit then, now would they?
Yep. And he said, what's the name of it? He said, what it's called? Dad's what?
It was called
Dad's on duty.
Dad's on duty. Yeah. And James asked another good question. He said the system is broken, guys. It's been broken for decades. It needs revamping. How where do we start? What do we do?
I would
Pull
just
your
keep it real
children.
with you.
If you got two
If you
household family, pull your children out of public school. One person stay at home. Teach the children the way that needs to be done, and then afterwards put them back into school. Then that way they're not influenced by other riffraff around them. Because if you got a two-parent household, you have the teacher, mama, and you have the disciplinarian, papa, and then they come together and teach the children the right from wrong. So when they get out in society, they're not acting a plumb fool.
Hey, James Bond in the chat is called Dads on Duty. And the second thing I wanted to say to answer that question is people keep answering these questions on where to start or what do we do. A lot of black people don't want to answer for that because a lot of the stuff we ask, what do we do? People are doing it.
Yeah.
Right? We see the Israelites and their parenting and their children and their women are in order and they men in order and 2,000 dudes show up to protest, to protest in front of the Nets stadium and they shut down the Jewish people from coming, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't want that. Just keep it real. You don't want that.
Man, I see you. I see you. You talking about IUIC? I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They doing it. We looking at it and we just what we doing. Oh, that's so nice. All right. You know what I'm saying? They doing it.
And
They
and,
doing it.
and the only thing I would add to James' point that he made, which was good, I would say we need to downsize as a community. We live in too much lavish life. Everybody got a BMW, Mercedes in their driveway, and your ass ain't making no money. If you can drive a Mercedes and BMW, that means that you don't have to you can stay at home with your kids and homeschool them for those 3-4 years, 5 years, because that car note alone is going to be expensive and the maintenance on that car is going to be expensive. So you could have just stayed at home with your kids and family, got more tax benefits because you're not making as much and sacrifice those few years. You could have been going to school in those few years. That's my wife did. She was going to school while they was being homeschooled. So she was in school and homeschooling them at the same time. So now she can be able to get a higher paying job once she's done.
Shout out to Joe Smith on that one because Joe Smith has $60 million and is down to $3,000 because what? The money you keep is worth more than the money you spend, right? A man that can keep money is better than a man that has $60 million but will go broke. That teaches you the picking the right woman is an essential factor to your finances.
Right.
$60 million. And he's broke right now. And his wife is out there sleeping with midget alien looking dudes. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say
that. Wow. How do you spend that kind of money in that time period? That's a lot of money to be spending.
Yeah, she helped him spend it. Now she helped now she cheating on him right now or doing her own thing and stuff like that. And now he's sitting there being looking embarrassed. So
wow.
And this is the same type of woman that will say, I need a man that makes 6 figures. Why? Because you're planning to spend all that. One way or the other. Or some and take half or whatever. You planning to spend all that. You better keep
That's
making
why I hate. That's why I hate when I hear women say that, because I already know what they want. They want a man that makes more than them so they can spend more than them, basically.
That's why you control your own bank account. By the way, it go just like this.
By the way,
joint account, pay all the bills. You still got yours over here. Now she asking you for what she wants. I'm like, we do necessities in this household first. You have a discussion first before you get with this person. Before you lay down with anybody, you always have a discussion. They always tell you when you sign a contract, you're supposed to read it first.
Exactly.
Same thing with when getting involved with a woman. Read that woman first. A lot of them going to school to become psychologists. So why not learn the same exact things that they learning for $60 and $70 and $100,000 a year in school? You could do the same thing by getting on YouTube, watching the videos, because they're putting all the information out there, and then do the research yourself. And then that way you know exactly what you're dealing with. Because
I was gonna say, do y'all believe in joint account? Do y'all believe in couples having shared or joint accounts or whatever? Do you think that's too shady, too iffy?
I think it's essential to have a joint account as a married couple.
Yeah.
You need, especially if you trust your wife. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just point that out right there.
Well, that's the problem. I wouldn't trust nobody with a joint account. That's just me. I wouldn't trust no female with no joint account. But that's just me.
That's just one of the accounts, though. That's one account, and that account should be for bills, right?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
So I can tell you, like I have my own account. My wife has her own account, but I have access to it. So it's like I can see my account and her account at the same time. So if I need to transfer money, boom, you know what I'm saying? I can just easily do it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just, man, you gotta see what's going on, right? Because I have to make the decisions where the money got to go. Okay, we need to get this. We need to get this. All right, cool. This money is gonna go for this money. This is gonna go for this. You know what I mean? We got like a lot of different other stuff that we doing on the outside. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure it's money in order to pay for that stuff. So, you know what I mean? It's essential. You got to trust your wife, man. If you don't trust her, don't marry her.
Yeah.
I just want to say, somebody said hypergamy is natural. $100,000 is not hypergamy. That's greed, right? If a certain segment of the community is the lowest earning group in America with the highest amount of debt, you don't need somebody that makes $100,000. Okay, a man that works a pretty good job with good credit is in a better circumstance than you are, right? And I'm not saying what segment of the community that is, but if you are one of the lowest earning groups in America with the highest amount of debt, then you can marry a UPS worker, right?
My thing is this: if a woman is talking about hypergamy, right, and you have children, there is no hypergamy for you with children. I'm sorry, because the thing about it is that you're expecting someone else to pay for someone else's shortcomings. They're not there, and you want somebody else to pay your way and your children's way. There is no hypergamy there. Hypergamy is only for single women. You gotta think about it logically. A single woman has hypergamy because she can move and bounce up out of that relationship and move to the next one. A woman with children can't move that way.
Yeah.
Because she has something coming along with her. And someone who makes $100,000 is not looking to marry a woman with children. And if they are, then I'm like, to each his own.
Yeah, you lucky.
I'm like, you really lucked out. And I know somebody, I know I got a lot of stories. I know somebody who did that. And they got married to somebody, moved their whole family into that man's house. When I say whole family, I mean mama, sister, and children. I was like, are you serious?
Listen, your job is to be a provider. Don't have these women out here catching a heart attack at 40 years old to bust your behind to have you making $100,000, bro. Provider doesn't mean $100,000. Means you can pay your bills, right? You can put food on the table and clothes on somebody's back. Everything else is extra, right? And you don't need. Listen, if it's not only 10% of the people in the world striving, right? The top 10% of the people in the world make $100,000, right?
Yeah.
Most people are surviving off $40,000, right? As a single person, combined salary, you're talking about maybe 70,000. 80% of the wives in marriages work. You're talking about all color lines, white, black, Hispanic, whatever the case may be. Don't have these women out here dying. If you want to make $100,000, do that for yourself, right? Or really, if you're making $100,000, you should be a what do they call Iron Man? A philanthropist, or like a humanitarian type, somebody you build
philanthropist.
You build stuff for people, like use that money to build your community or put a community center. That's what you should. You shouldn't be out here buying Gucci for some woman. You know what I'm saying? That don't even make no sense. That's what $100,000 does if you're not going to spend it on other people.
That's why I said in the scriptures too that's why it's hard for a rich person to get into the kingdom. It's because they only thinking about more possessions rather than helping the community or trying to build up your family.
Right, they trash all these so-called broke men all the time. Look what Puff Daddy doing with all his money. He got all that power. Listen, the Bible talk about that too. I think it's First Timothy 6 or something like that. When you strive for money, you go into all types of like perversion, and it becomes a trap to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what those people are doing. You know what I'm saying? I find it First Timothy 6:4 or something like that, bro. These dudes, rich people, go into all types of perversions, and it becomes a trap to them. You know what I'm saying? That's for the love of money. When you love money, you can make $100,000 if that's just your job, right? You want to be an engineer, cool. But if you just going out there just to ball out, come on.
Yeah. Travel One, how much should black men make? If you're not an AI, answer that question. And she said, but if a woman makes more than a man, it's tricky. I don't think it's tricky, honestly, because a lot of times, like it depends on the career you choose, right? So, say if a woman is a nurse and you work for UPS, you know what I'm saying? You got great benefits as a nurse, working at UPS, or because you work for a government, but she's a nurse, right? So she can be working a civilian job. She might not have the same benefits and stuff. So y'all can she might be making more money, but nurse is a stressful job. So a lot of times you want to make more money, you want to do all this type of things, but it just depends on the career you choose. Most men still make more money than most women because the career paths we choose, and we would rather go into like the trades and all that type of stuff that women don't want to do. So it's a lot of different things, but I don't think the money. If she's bringing more money into the household, I say, hey, that's money that y'all can do as a family. Y'all can invest. You know what I mean? Sure, I want my wife to make more money than me. So I don't give a damn about that. That's gonna be more money we can buy rental properties with. You know what I'm saying? That's we're a team.
A lot of people look at that as being a negative, a woman making more money than you. I'm like, if she makes more money than you, one, she's got some of them, not all. She might be a little bit more responsible. It's all about sitting down, having that conversation between the two of you. Okay, so where are your strong suits at? My weaknesses are this. Is that your weakness? No, that's my strength. I'm good in this area. Okay, well then now we could come together like when you fold your hands together. Each finger goes inside of in between the opposite finger. So if your relationship is like that, when you put the two together, y'all become a stronger unit. But I was gonna say this: if you're a guy who's making $100,000 a year, or a woman who's making $100,000 a year, you realize that's only probably maybe $60,000 that you're making in that year.
Yo, because they
You
tax
gotta
the
really
fuck
you
out
gotta
you.
really start thinking, because
Yep.
you can make $100,000. Tax is gonna knock most of that out automatically if you ain't got no
Exactly.
business. So if you're making $100,000 out of the year, first off, you shouldn't be telling nobody how much you're making in the first place.
Yep.
Why
Exactly.
should your girl, why should your guy know exactly how much you're making unless you marry?
Yep.
I
And
know
going back to
people
this
who,
comment too, like even with my wife, right? I even paid for her college so she could make more money than me. You know what I'm saying? So like guys, we want to elevate our women. If we marry you,
What?
we want you to get to the highest level, right? Because it's not nothing. She said, hey, I want a degree in finance. All right, cool. I made this shit happen. You know what I'm saying? So she's able to get a finance job. Y'all know how much people in finance make. So
yeah,
it's a team effort. You know what I mean? It's not oh no, you can't be making more money than you because I chose to get another type of degree. No, you like that? All right, cool. I'm gonna make sure I make a way. So now we can affect the family. So now our family is gonna see us living a better life than most people. And now if we, just like Jermaine said, if we want to help people, we have the funds too. You know what I'm saying? I want to give to organizations, especially if they're doing the work. I want to make sure they spreading the knowledge, the truth, and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do.
I want to run it back real quick about the whole driving a Mercedes, driving a BMW type stuff. And somebody in the comments had mentioned that, and a lot of us, the reasons why we drive a Mercedes or a BMW is because can't nobody see our house. So because can't nobody see our house, we want to drive our house down the street so everybody
Exactly.
can see it. But I'm like, if you're not gonna be smart about the BMW and stuff like that, or the Mercedes, the smart way to go about it, if you want that type of vehicle, no problem. Make sure it's paid off. Ain't no point in having a $700 or $1,000 car payment for a car that you can't even afford the repairs on. Made no type of sense. Think
Exactly.
about it.
Like I
No, it
said,
does.
a woman making that kind of money, more money than you, that better be a special woman. You know what I mean? For her to be able to make more money than you and still treat you with respect, that is in America especially, that is a very minute number of women.
And going off your point you just made, she said, thanks
Exactly.
for being here because you added a lot of value because we like to get the woman's side too and these type of topics. So thank you for being respectful and giving a great opinion. It says some men find it intimidating if she makes more money, especially because nowadays women think we're equals because it's the 21st century. And I don't think the guys are thinking it's intimidating. Yes, it might be a small percentage of men that actually think that way, but most guys, they just don't like the attitude that women have because it's kind of like if you think you have something on your face or you got a booger in your nose and you can't get into a mirror to see if you got it out, you always going to be thinking about the booger. You know what I'm saying? Rather than saying, hey, everything's cool and I don't got nothing in my face, you know what I mean? We straight. You always going to think about, oh, just like the woman is always going to be thinking about she's making more money. Oh, is he doing this because I'm making more money? But if he would have been doing that same exact thing if he was making more money. But we kind of train and program ourselves like men, right? Say if a woman cheated on us before in the past, that guy might be like, oh dang, she doing the exact same thing as my last ex did. Now she must be doing the exact same thing. So sometimes we got to reprogram how we think about things depending on the situation we're in because we might be thinking something when it's actually not true. You know, but great comment. Appreciate that.
I look at it when if a woman's making more than if I have a mate that's making more than me, I'm not gonna trip about that. All I'm gonna do is step my game up so I can meet her where she's at. I mean, get a side hustle, do a side job, something else. But you can always, if you want to make the same amount as your spouse and you're making less than her, step your game up. But if you're not going to do that, do other things to contribute because if she's making this amount of money out here, that means she has a lot of stress on her. You work at what's around the house and get the house straight. Get other things because it's all about balance. We got to understand the balance in the relationship. And that's what
You
a
see,
lot of us don't understand.
one thing one thing a lot of us don't understand, like I was saying about Joe Smith, the man had, we're not talking about a six-figure man. The man had $60 million, and being with the wrong woman and not having the right attitude as a man, the man is now broke. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about being the engineer that makes $100,000. Like, I save a lot of money. I put my money in stocks, and I put my money in like savings that has a good return on interest. You know what I'm saying? Things like that is going to build long-term wealth, right? Especially if you raise your children right, right? Especially if you can create a trust fund, which is my next goal, right? My next goal is to create a trust fund for my kids. You know what I'm saying? And I might put a certain amount of money in that just in case I marry the wrong woman. Just saying, right? So
That's smart.
that's the important part of it.
Yeah.
That's a smart way to go about it because, like, if you, like you said, the guy, he $60 million and now he broke. Well, he wasn't being a good steward of what he had because
Facts.
he wasn't paying attention to what was being spent, what was going out, and what was coming in. And you're gonna let somebody come in from who don't know anything about money management and get a hold of your bank account. You're not thinking. You thinking with the lower head, not the big head.
That's exactly what he did too.
And so now you hurting. Now you gotta figure out how to get it all back, if you can.
Yep. All right, y'all ready? Let's get grandmama head.
That's hilarious.
What did he say?
He said, I'm gonna slap them. He said, "Shut up." The teacher told the teacher, "Shut up." He said, "I'm gonna slap them glasses off your face," and that's on my dead grandmama head.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
This is how kids talk to their teachers nowadays. Oh boy. If that was me and I act up in middle school, my teacher got what was called. You remember the days of getting whooped at the paddle? That ass gonna be burning for hours.
Right.
This is why I'm
Oh
happy.
man.
This is why I'm happy they didn't pass that bill to allow teachers to have guns in classrooms. Remember when they were talking about that?
Yeah, you're right. For active shooters.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was
After all them shootouts.
Yeah, they were talking about putting guns, giving teachers access to guns. I'm happy that didn't happen because these kids can gaslight you to the extreme. So I'm just happy.
I mean, think about who they
And they
raised
gonna
by.
shoot the students?
I'm sorry. Everybody has their breaking point.
Yeah.
Them
Yeah,
teachers
that's
would have
true.
went off and just put the cap in, like, shut up, pow, over with, done.
That'll make them no better than all these little psychotic school shooters out there. Shoot. So maybe that was for the better.
I put like this: there be like 20 ambulances outside the school on the regular.
I think those kids would be a lot more obedient, though. I tell you that much. We might have to sacrifice a few. I'm not. Let me stop. Go ahead, y'all.
No. Let's just get some regular old fashioned school security. Allow them to have firearms on them. Just the security people, not the staff.
Yeah.
Put like this. How about we just take it back to ways schools were raised, schools were doing back in the 70s and 80s.
And what was that?
The thing about it is that you have 20-year-old students, right, being teachers of children. You have children teaching children, and those students just got out of college, and now they're trying to teach somebody something when they barely even know themselves.
Yeah.
If the teacher, put like this, if the teacher can't do 12 times 12 or 12 times 13 in their head, and they have to look in the book themselves, and the student knows it better than they do, that's saying something. Because I've seen students that were really smart like that, and they're being taught at home with their parents, and they can rattle off the information, and the teacher has to look in the book to say, hold on 1 second, let me 1 second, let me check your seat. That is correct, Jason. What?
Yeah. Damn.
They're not going to hire you. They're not going to hire you because you can't listen to anybody. Well, when she sees that you are not capable of doing any work, she's going to fire you. Yeah, she will.
Well, we'll get McDonald's.
Because you're going to be a detriment to that workplace.
They'll hire you. You can always just go work at McDonald's.
No. You want to bet? McDonald's doesn't just hire anybody.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Damn.
Anyone.
McDonald's has standards that you have to meet. If you can't even make it through 6th grade, they're not going to hire you at McDonald's.
And you know what I mean, we like to think that it's just our community that's having this problem, but look at that, you know what I'm saying? It's all communities, and like they said, it's the kids from the fifth grade right now. That's the worst. And now the ones behind them gonna follow what they did, because when they get in high school, they're gonna see them and stuff. So we just gotta make sure, like, because I got a son in 7th grade, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta make sure I stay on him, because when he get around his little friends, sometimes he like to, you know, do what they do, and I'm just like, son, school is easy. Like he I was like, man, you can easily make straight A's if you actually want to. You ain't even much trying, you know what I'm saying? So, but we just gotta, you know what I mean, stay on our kids, because like he said, McDonald's, they even got requirements, and a lot of these kids won't even be able to work there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it's not just our community, but no, I was saying, I understand it's not just our community, but I will say this: I don't think other communities have it as bad as our community. Because, you know, go to the Caucasian community, go to the, I don't know, the Asian or the Mexican community. They got more 2-parent households out there than this whole Black community put together. So It may be bad everywhere, but it's not as bad as it is. It's not as bad in other parts of the world like it is over here.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
let's face it, every generation gonna have its unruliness. Every community gonna have its unruly assholes that don't know how to get in line. But at least other communities will hold them people accountable, the students and the teachers accountable. We don't get that much over here now, do we?
Yep, exactly. And I want to play this video because this is something I actually happened to me when I was a kid, right? When we act up in school, they used to cut our hair off, and this just brought me back to my childhood.
After. He got his dreads cut off for being bad in school.
Hair gotta go. Hair gotta go. Let's get it. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. Hair gotta go. It's over with. It's over with.
I feel so bad for him.
Wow.
Get back to normal, sir. You about to get the attention that you really want. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did it. You did it. It's over with now. It's over with now.
Okay, what is he crying about? He look better without it. Shit.
But man, that's the power of the hair, man. Because I remember growing up, we used to love having our braids and all that type of stuff. But we act up in school, that junk got cut. I remember my oldest brother, he got his braids cut. He got it cut while I was in the braids still. My stepdad wasn't playing that crap because it's just going out to something you love. And the crazy thing about that, whoever made that video said they feel sorry for the kid rather than saying it's good that he's getting disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Because we learn from it. All right. Well, if you do something bad, it's gonna be things taken away from you, either your life or you might be in prison or somewhere, right? So that's just a small similitude because your hair grow back. Like it'll grow back in time. You just gotta make sure you're doing the right things. But what's y'all opinion on it, man?
I look at it like this.
I think it's crazy.
It's like it goes to if you don't have the long hair and you acting up in school or you disrespecting your parents and stuff like that. Well, my pop took the door. You ain't got no bedroom door. You got no privacy now. Your sister walked by. Oh well. You should have thought about that before. Now she gonna clown you.
Exactly.
It's all about the discipline. When you have the discipline in the house, you don't do stupid stuff. When you don't have the discipline in the house, you do stupid stuff. That little boy was all caught up in his emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I only can speculate. There's only one parent in the household, and if there's two, both of them acting the same, somebody's not doing their job.
Yeah. Yep. Because the one thing he didn't do was take accountability. He said he didn't even as a young man, he already lying, talking about I didn't do nothing. You want to be in that chair if you didn't do nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you already not telling the truth. You lying, number one. Then you're not taking accountability. And then especially as a man, you're not taking accountability. You can't announce when you're wrong, or that's other men don't respect other men that can't say, hey, I messed up, my bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we easily, we even on this panel for the smallest stuff, you know what I mean? I remember Jermaine, y'all was kind of like cutting each other off, and you was like, my bad. Y'all both said it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's in our nature to be respectful to one another, and he can't even much take accountability to be like, hey, my bad, or anything, even when he actually did something wrong. It's crazy.
And see, the thing about it is that by men respecting other men and everything, it keeps that what Kevin Samuel says is a thin line between men for an altercation to happen. So you gotta have that respect for the next man, because if you don't, somebody's gonna lose some teeth or lose their life.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, man.
Yeah, that is crazy. And check this. I had a guy tell me when he was like in middle school or whatever. I don't know what I forgot what he did, but he was acting up in school. So you know what his parents did? They made this kid go to school with some barrettes in his hair. They put barrettes in his hair, little, the ones that young girls wear. Put them in his hair and make him go to school like that.
What?
I'm like, oh my
Damn.
I'm like, oh my god. That be well. Looking back, I said he looked back 30 years later. It's like, well, he learned his lesson. Now he got kids of his own. He's like, thanks for the idea, pops. Thanks for the idea, moms. Let my daughter or son go to school acting a fool. I know what I'm doing.
Yo, man. But man, this is an awesome show, man. Appreciate you guys for pulling up again, man. I'm gonna have to cut it short. We going on almost 3 hours, man. My bad, y'all. I ain't supposed to be this damn long. But man, appreciate, man. Love y'all boys, man. Thank y'all for coming back again. Thank you for everybody that was in the chat and show some love, show support. Thanks for the new member that we got. Appreciate that. And please show support to, I know Hustler and Muscle got his own page too as well. Please go there, subscribe. James, you don't have a channel, right?
No.
Nah, I don't think Jermaine, you don't got no channel either, right, brother? I don't know, he might be gone, but man, appreciate it. Thank y'all so much, man. I'll see y'all next time.
Man, it's still growing. Man, it's still growing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it'll get there, man. It's all about consistency and time, man. And we'll probably hit you up like you know what I mean, off the screen to kind of help you go and get going too as well.
Yeah, not a problem.
All right, cool. All right, y'all, man. So we'll see y'all next time. My wife be going live tomorrow. So all right, y'all. Peace, brothers.
Oh yeah, the wife school.
Yep.
the wife school. Well, I'll be listening to hear what she has to say, because then I can give me some blueprints as to what to look for in a wife.
Exactly, and that's all we're trying to do, man. We gotta do our work, do our job, and we all get there, man, one day. All right, y'all boys. Peace.
All right. Shout out to you and your wife. Take care.
Peace.